What's up, guys? How we doing? It's been a little hiatus, obviously, with the bye week and not having too much, but figured, we hop on here, little hangout, little post-celebration, depending on which side you're on. Obviously, we might have some Cowboys fans or some Steelers fans in the chat, but how's everybody doing? What's up? We will have Thomas on here in just a bit, but I think he's possibly wrapping up some dinner, also dealing with some AC issues, so hopefully that gets figured out. But he will be on in a little bit. If you've not already, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, as always. We appreciate that, but going to be streaming during the Cowboys-Steelers game because, figured, what the heck? Although the question becomes, who are you actually rooting for that? Cup saying Philly's all I have. Yeah, that was an absolutely crazy, wild, ridiculous game. But, I'm in shock that they won, but nonetheless, they did, so that in itself deserves a like. In the meantime, I got to give a quick shout out to the official sponsor of the channel, and that, of course, is Underdog. So use the QR code. Well, usually it's on the side, but use the QR code up there. Get in on the action. Use code Philly Special when you scan the QR code. There's also a free pick for those that can. By the way, I know everybody's mentioning this, but and I've said it before. They're not available, unfortunately, for Pennsylvania. They're working on that. Hopefully get it soon. Other states as well, they are working on those. It's kind of wild that they haven't gotten that yet. But if you are new, you have not been signed up, and it is available to you for those that are in the States. There's a free pick, not one that I necessarily love, but what the heck? It's during the game. It's free. You might as well capitalize on the money. Take advantage of the Dak Prescott. It's over 0.5. They could very much easily lose the game, and he could obviously throw for a couple yards nonetheless. But take advantage of that. Shout out to Underdog, again, official sponsor of the channel. And for those that maybe hopefully tailed earlier today, it was a wild, crazy day from a number of reasons, but we had a massive parlay. 150 turned 150 into 1104. You see it there kind of towards the bottom. I'll scroll down a little bit. But yeah, that was the play. I posted it to all the socials. So I try to share as much as I can, as quickly as I can for people to, if you would like to take part. But yeah, we had a pretty solid day. I would say it was very productive. But there you go. And then also for the picks for tonight, it's a little bit smaller. So, But I had to play something here. This is what I'm going with. We'll see how it shakes out. But Justin Fields under completion percentage, 66.7. Thinking that he's a little bit more inaccurate. And then Rico Dowdle over fantasy points. So, I mean, maybe he gets a touchdown in the works there. But 8.6, it's not a ton. But yes, if you're curious, wanted to give it a shot, have not before, and it is eligible to you, make sure to use code Philly Special. Link is in the description. I'll also post that as well. But yes, we've got that in the works. And there you go. So back to, let me go ahead and move this because this is making me a little bit, yeah. Let's move that to the side. That looks better. There we go. Okay. But yeah, how's everybody doing? By the way, I'll post the link. Sorry, I said that, but I will post the link for anyone wanting to tell that pick. Hopefully, it's another winner, but tell the underdog pick. There you go. Or just put your own together. The competition was good. It is a 3-day competition, by the way. Thank you for those asking. Question, Reese's Buff, saying, Josh, what's going on? How was the competition Friday? It was good. We kind of middle of the pack somewhere in there, but it's, like I say, 3-day competition. So there's another event tomorrow, and then there's one on Wednesday. So that's where we're at. And yeah, we'll have the stream of the game, which is in 15 minutes? Something like that. Cheesesteak, what a Phillies win. Start with a 2-strike hit. Yeah, it was. That was nuts. On the birthday hit, right? Crazy. Hunter, are you ready for Washington to win the NFC? I mean, that's a little bit of an overreaction. I hear you, though. Yes, they have looked good. Still, I'm waiting until we can 100. They are a good team. I'm not going to be. There's some people that are like, oh, they're not so good. We don't know about this. It's kind of true, but at the same time, they are a good team. Are they a great team? That's the question. Are they a great team? They looked very good against, but it's Cleveland at the same time. So, and they've played really good, looked good against Cincinnati. Talk about some crazy games, though. That was the entire NFL this day, right? Like, you got the 49ers coughing it up, choking at the end to the Cardinals. Cardinals win that one. Maxwell saying, yeah, Phillies win, Niners lose. All I need is a Cowboys loss for a perfect trifecta. That would be it. LA Kid, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, all is well. We're doing good. Appreciate that. Hope you are too. And by the way, for those wondering, Thomas is going to be joining. He was just a little bit later, but he will be here. So I'm sure that people are over on his channel and like, what the heck? Josh just I sabotaged it. That's what it is. We're just hanging out on Thomas's channel. Let's see. Is there? I'm seeing a couple comments. Do we have a weather delay? Is that official? Do we have a weather delay in the Steelers Cowboys? Let's see. Tequila, what's up? Says I'm ready for Eagles next week. I am too. I'm ready for this bye to be over. Glad that we had it. But yeah. Let's please get there. All right, I'm trying to find it if there is a weather delay. I'm not seeing anything yet, but that totally does not mean that I am correct there. Cup, do I have a pick for tonight? Yeah, okay. I guess I got to make sure and clean that one up. Are you talking about who am I going to pick to win? And if so, I mean, I'll give that to you, but who is everybody else picking to win? And don't just go, let me just say this. Use your head. Who do you think is going to win this game? Not with the heart. I know it's probably a vast majority that Dallas loses, but vast majority, even being that the case, like, use your head. Who do you think legitimately is going to win this game? Predictions on the score. I'm curious. All right, I'm seeing it while we're getting those answers. I will answer. I'm seeing it on Twitter. Looks like the Steelers did take the field. I don't know. Maybe there's something with weather. Sean saying Steelers. I'm using my head screw to that. I hate the Cowgirls. Let's see. China's going Cowboys. Muhammad's Dallas is going to choke. Devontae's got the Steelers defense. Heck yeah, there you go. I think this one is going to be an incredibly close game. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. And, gosh, I kind of think, I hate to see it. Okay, like, my heart is obviously, I want Dallas to lose. I'm kind of thinking that Dallas is going to win. Like, if I'm predicted, which is why, I went with the pick that I did for Underdog and saying that Rico Dowdle's going to have over 8.8 or 8.6 fantasy points. Justin Fields, a little bit under 66% with the accuracy. So, yeah, see, I'm with Ivan there. Cowboys, but I obviously hope the Steelers win this one. That's where I'm at. Unfortunately, but that's where we're at. Let's see. Super chat here from James. Appreciate that. Let's see. Hear me out. What would you think of Deuce Staley as head coach next year? I think this would be something to consider. Wow, that is interesting. It's a little bit early as far as I mean, it's not way too early, but it's a little. Come on, it's a little bit. We're in the bye week. You come out of the bye week, you beat Cleveland. If we do, I know there's talk now that Jameis Winston could get the start for Deshaun Watson, who is stealing money. I mean, you talk about anybody who's stealing money, anyone who's had issues. My gosh, that guy, like $230 million guaranteed to just hang out there. That's insanity. But nonetheless, if you get a win there, you start getting some, positive momentum on that side. But you did throw out the hypothetical. It would be interesting to me. I still don't know that I would say Deuce as far as a head coach. Like I've maintained a Ben Johnson as the first guy, maybe a Bobby Slowick from Houston. I want an offensive guru, someone to come in and have that system of their own. So that's at least where I would go. As we're saying that, again, make sure everybody hit the like button if you've not. And it looks like Thomas is joining, so we should have him here. Let me try to make that work. There we go. We got Thomas on. All right. I think that worked. I can hear you. You can hear me.
Little bye week Sunday Night Football, not too bad.
Why not? I was just going over. We have, of course, very quickly get hypotheticals of head coach as Deuce Staley next year. Thoughts on that? Because what else do we talk about and think about in the bye week? But
yeah, I don't know about Deuce Staley, but sure. Yeah, it's been a very, very slow bye week. Let's just say that for Philadelphia. But kind of an interesting day in the rest of the National Football League, Josh. I'm sure you touched on it. Niners losing. They're 2-3. Commanders blow out the Browns, which was, kind of expected. The Commanders are very, very good. Giants got very lucky there at the end with a blocked field goal, return for a touchdown. But if Philadelphia can go to 3-2, I mean, come on, they're setting up to at least maybe get going here towards the second quarter of the NFL season. But the Niners losing was very, very good. It's a bummer that the Packers won. I was really hoping the Packers and the Vikings would lose today, but both of them won. So what are you going to do? Cowboys lose tonight, though? Come on. That's not a bad overall gig, I think, for every Eagle fan.
It wouldn't be. That's what we're all rooting for, obviously. So I was pulling up the score as you were mentioning those as well. But yeah, it was a wild day today. I mean, tons of things that I didn't either expect to see or the way that they played out, certainly. As it looks like, okay, I was trying to find if there's any sort of delay. It does appear that we have a delay officially. So I don't know how long this delay is, but a weather delay of sorts in Pittsburgh.
No way. There's a weather delay.
I believe so. Which, speaking of, I guess, somewhat, how are you doing? Because I was mentioning to people, too, the AC, is it officially, like, it's
not
gone
working
at the moment?
It's gone. Oh, yeah. It's 80 degrees in here right now. We're going to hang out.
Shout out to you for...
We got all the fans going. I got my fan blowing in here. We're going to sweat for a while, and then we're going to call it a night and go take a cold shower and try and sleep in 80-degree weather. So, it's unfortunate. We'll see what it is. We'll see what it is tomorrow.
Okay, fair enough.
What are you gonna do?
Hopefully it's not too terrible. Is that all on the East Coast? I mean, it's you guys in Atlanta, but I'm assuming it's just kind of all East Coast swing then, or
no. It's not like
it's not weather. I thought it was weather related.
No. It's not weather. It's just our AC. Okay. No, yeah, our AC went out. Okay. It was sunny today. So, yep.
Gotcha.
It's a problem specific to us. Although a lot of people elsewhere have AC problems, I'm sure, just due to overall hurricane stuff. But that was not the cause of our AC going out, at least not that I know of.
Okay. All right. I was just thinking, I don't know. My initial thought is like, oh, it was something weather related, but
nope.
Wow. Just unlucky. Like
pretty much
the Bengals today and the Brown. We were talking about Cleveland too, but there's not unlucky. It's just really poor play. Like that was awful.
Do you think they're going to bench Deshaun Watson this week? I think that's a real conversation. I think that's a very real conversation.
I kind of think they should. If you see the team, like it's not going to be worse than Deshaun Watson. I mean, so it would actually be a little bit of a scary thought, quite honestly. Like if we go into Cleveland, if the Eagles go into Cleveland, it's a home game, but if we play Cleveland and Deshaun Watson is the one starting, then I mean, I'm feeling better about it, quite honestly. Because if you see Jameis, then it's like, yeah, he can play he's a wild card. He can be very up and down, but because he hasn't played, I don't know. Like he might hurt you. That it scares me more so than saying, hey, Deshaun Watson, roll out there. You haven't done anything all year.
Yeah, we're kind of at that point where if Deshaun Watson was going to start being good, it kind of would have happened by now. He looks really bad. I mean, and clearly Kevin Stefanski, their head coach, is not pleased with him. There were some interesting silent altercations today on a fourth down play that really makes you wonder how much longer they can actually bear to start him, despite the $230 million guaranteed that they cannot get out of unless he gets arrested or something, right? There's, certain clauses, but nothing that's going to, stop him from being a Brown for the next couple of weeks, especially this week. But Jameis is definitely a wild card. Cleveland is already 1-3. It seems like their season's probably over. You probably got to try and ride the bumps of Deshaun Watson and make sure he stinks if you're the Cleveland Browns. So I think you're going to play him, and I think it sets up for Philadelphia to have a real good chance to win. Now, if they struggle, Josh, which we can mention that the Cleveland defense has been good, but they got work today. They've had a couple of other games this year where they didn't look that great. This should be a double-digit win for Philadelphia. If it's not, if it's close, if it's a loss, then Nick Sirianni's days in Philadelphia will be over almost this time next week, I would say.
Oh gosh, yeah. I can't even. I mean, really, it seems like it's going to be. There's in my mind. I know that I keep trying to go to like optimism, and yes, it could happen. We've seen crazy things, but like, come on, against a Cleveland team, you have a bye week to regroup. For all we see and know so far, and we'll have more in the upcoming week. But like, the Eagles should be healthy, right? They should be healthy. You should get AJ Brown back. You should get Devontae Smith, Lane Johnson. Turn this thing around. Defense play a little bit better. Who knows? I believe Cleveland's allowed the most pressure so far. And again, I'm seeing comments from people. Yes, we were delayed. You see the scoreboard. It's delayed. We're trying to keep everybody updated. But around the NFL, basically, it's kind of like a Wednesday link on a Sunday during a bye week. Why not? But yeah, I don't know. You look around. On one side, I keep trying to relate it in terms of, obviously Eagles news, Eagles team, stuff like that. But on a day like this, you can't really lose necessarily. So that was the positive. I know that some people are like, hey, Eagles aren't playing today, right? It'll be positive. You don't have to walk away from it in a negative fashion. But on one side, you see the Niners just cough up a game, completely choke to the Cardinals. Yep. And Dallas here who could very easily lose against the Steelers. We have the Commanders, as we were talking about. It's Cleveland, but you have a number of teams that it's like, wait, are they good? Like, what just happened? Like the Giants beating Seattle in Seattle, Daniel Jones not have it, which I guess maybe he shouldn't have Malik Neighbors. That's the key to unlocking Daniel Jones. Yeah. But it's still a reminder, even though yes, there's still some concern within the Eagles, but a reminder that like, any given Sunday, and aside from 2 to 3 teams, we really have no clue where teams are at right now. Like it was crazy today.
You mentioned those 3 teams. I think we basically know that Minnesota's for real, unless Sam Darnold has some sort of, Halloween seeing ghost relapse in a couple of weeks here. He looks absolutely fantastic, but at one point he was a very bad quarterback who threw a lot of interceptions, and so you're kind of just hoping that. Again, the word relapse is maybe not the best one here, but you don't want to see Darnold, if you're a Viking fan, relapse to his old self. Washington, I think you have something very special brewing there. I don't know if this is just RG3 rookie year type of lightning in the bottle, or if Jaden Daniels is going to be a superstar going forward. I mean, we've seen stuff like this. I think he looks fantastic. He's protecting the football. Will he survive the course of the year with his, smaller frame, takes a lot of hits? That'll be a big question mark. Mm-hmm. And I think also the Detroit Lions are really good. I think their defense is not as good, especially on the backside, as they were hoping. I think the front 4 is fantastic when you have Aiden Hutchinson. Besides that, there's a whole bunch of teams that are either 2-3, 3-2, or like Philadelphia, 2-2. Atlanta, we've seen them be up and down. They could easily be a 2-3 team versus 3-2, which would, move us to 3-1. Mm-hmm. Tampa, obviously, beat us, look fantastic, look very, very bad against the Denver Broncos. So they show that they have some, kinks in the armor. I think the Packers are starting to kind of roll here and get going, but I still don't think they're a juggernaut yet. I think they can lose. They could have lost today to the LA Rams. But then after that, Josh, Bears, Saints, Cowboys, Cardinals, Giants, Niners, Rams, Panthers. Niners without Christian McCaffrey, I don't know. I think Alexander Madison's good, but are they great? I'm not buying it. So
how good is Brock Purdy also? Like, we get the QB controversy with Jalen Hurts all the time, but come on now. I mean, how good is Purdy? We don't really know officially.
I need to see Purdy stink for a couple more weeks before I start to say he's definitely not not good. But
for sure,
it at least is interesting for Philadelphia in the standpoint that if you can get to 3-2 and look good doing it, and then you play the Giants, which have a great defense but not a good offense, there's a formula here to start rolling and really kind of turn the season around. As people in the comment section are mentioning, we get A.J. Brown back this week. Like Lane Johnson was back this week. Devontae Smith. I mean, I've watched a lot of football, especially the past, 4 or 5 hours just today. Not a lot of great offense out there. And there aren't a lot of great weapons who are having crazy years so far this season. There's a couple. Justin Jefferson's name comes to mind, but there isn't a ton of dominant players on the offensive side of the football so far this season. Again, a lot of really good ones, but if you get A.J. Brown back and get him back in the prime, alongside Saquon Barkley with Devontae Smith, I know Jalen Hurts has been up and down so far this year, but it feels like this offense can get back to what we saw during that Packer game, Josh, where they were nearly unstoppable minus some Jalen Hurts turnovers.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they were. And again, that's really what it comes down to, because we talk about it so many different times, but you look at really teams all around the league, and it's it's a given, but when you see it week in and week out, it just kind of becomes amplified, or it's kind of not really, an overstatement, but it's like the turnover game. Look at every single QB, like
Yep.
Joe Burrow, a very costly turnover late
Yep.
game. Cincinnati should have won that game against Baltimore, but hey, you put it in the hands of your quarterback and turn over the football. Ravens should not have had a chance to win that game, but yet you do, and they go down, they kick field goal, force overtime, and ends up even still a great chance in overtime, and you lose that game. But it comes down to there's only so many possessions, and especially when we continue to talk about like, hey, Jalen has two turnovers. It's not even like one recently; it's like multiple turnovers in a game. Then you're putting yourself behind the eight ball. The defense can't get any pressure already. We know that, but it just kind of compounds the issues, and you see it. Same deal with the Niners.
Yep.
When Brock Purdy started turning the ball over a couple times, then Cardinals able to come back. So. I don't know. It'll be interesting because the NFC to me still, when we look at it, and you listed a couple of those different teams, as you see, I mean, there's 1 to 2 maybe that we would say, okay, yeah, we kind of know about them, but all the rest, who knows? Like it's still early in the season. It's week 5. We're less than a third of the way through it. And you get things back on track with the health and everything else. And, I think we'd be sitting in a little better spot. It remains to be seen, though. They have to go out and do it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure to hit the like button if you're not already. We're hanging out on a rain delay. So rain delay theater, I suppose. Dylan here saying, hey, what's up, Josh and Thomas? How y'all doing? We're doing well. It's a Sunday night hangout. First time we've, I think, done this ever for a stream of other teams outside of Philly. But figured a bye week. Why not? Maybe we jinxed it because we decided to stream this and now we have a weather delay. But
now we got to wait. Yeah,
it figures to be the case. So I was going to shout out also just because, get the sponsorships out of the way, of course. Everyone sees, obviously, the QR code with Underdog. Today was crazy. I shared it with other people in the chat. We were talking about Cleveland. But hit a ridiculous parlay today. 151,104 bucks.
Okay.
So Jason Sanders I went with kicking game. It was kind of a weird bet, but I was like, maybe go with some kickers. Thankfully, Cleveland is so terrible that all they could basically get was field goal kicks. But we got a Dustin Hopkins, Jason Sanders, and then I had to throw a golf pick in there. But turn that one into 1104. So shout out to Underdog for that. And if people are looking to get in on the Underdog action, I've got the QR code link in the description. Use code Philly Special, and there you go. So. Outside of that, how's the fantasy looking? I know we got several people hanging out here with the multiple leagues, but mine's not so great. But how's yours?
I think I lost in all 3 leagues today. I played my wife in my league, and I lost by, I think it was 7. So it came down to the wire. I needed one more touchdown in one of these late games. It didn't happen. So I am going to be 4-1 in one of our fantasy leagues, 3-2 in another one, and then 1-4 in my personal league, which is a bummer because I've scored the most points for, but I have the most points against. And so I would have beaten everybody in the league again today with my points, but who I play, which was my wife. So she's very happy, though. She got the win. So credit to her.
Happy wife, happy life. So it's probably, it's not the worst thing, I suppose.
Fair enough. What about you?
That's not so great. It's weird. Like we've had these like up and down weeks. I feel like kind of similar to, I guess last year was a little bit the same way, but last week was, I think I won almost every single one of those. Because I'm in like 4 leagues, I believe. I think I won all 4. And then the week before that, though, I lost everyone. So this week is not as well. It's still not great. It looks like I'm going to be 1-3. There's a very slim chance if Boswell can get like 3 points or something like that. I need to be very, very low. Basically, just Steelers no kicks today. If we could do that, then maybe there's a chance we'll go 2-2. Otherwise, it's going to be like 1-3. So, and overall, my record is, I think I'm 2-2 in both of our. The one for the Wednesday link, and then the other one. I think I've only got 1 win so far, but I'm playing Jacob, so that's kind of an automatic dub.
That's a pretty easy win.
No offense to Jacob, but yeah.
No. It's an easy dub right now. There's a lot of bad teams. I'll tell you, it's a low scoring sort of year, right? There, I mean, tight ends are basically non-existent. There's only a handful of running backs that I think have been pretty consistent. Wide receivers are very much up and down. I mean, there was more scoring this week, I would say, than previous weeks, but overall, not necessarily crazy amounts of scoring today. So, we'll see. Man, this lightning that they keep showing up on the screen for the Pittsburgh Steelers game is such a bummer. I wonder how late they're going to delay this thing.
I was trying to look and see if they have any sort of Actually, I could probably play that here briefly. Yeah, there's a little clip from the lightning at the stadium, so people that are wondering,
There you
that's what
go.
we're rain delay, and then there's a little bit of the Doppler forecast. So, um, yeah, I'm not seeing official numbers though of where that's at. Oh, okay. The most recent one looks like from Ari Merov said the game will be delayed roughly 30 minutes due to inclement weather, but that was 16 minutes ago. So
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, hopefully there's not anything additional to that. So that mean what? We're like another 15 minutes away,
Something like that.
something like
Yep, that
that.
sounds about right.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
Tyler, yes, I appreciate that. Actually, yeah, Tyler giving the shout out here. Josh, still don't know how you beat me last week. It said I won by 128 to 127. Then I see you won by 0.2 points. I was so mad. I didn't
Last
change
second.
anything. I did
Last
think that
second.
she won. I believe that it was a stat correction, if I'm not mistaken, on how that showed
Pretty
up. But
crazy.
yes, I went to
Pretty
bed
crazy.
thinking the same thing. I was like, well, there you go. I lost. And then it turns around. So I don't know what to tell you, Tyler. I apologize, except not really, because I'm trying to win this thing, as we all are, of course. But then he says, now Anthony DeBona has got me by 22 points, but he does have Travis Kelce and New Orleans defense. So that's a
It's
decent chance.
possible. It's
Yeah.
possible. It's not guaranteed by any means, but it's possible. Kelsey's definitely on the way out, though. So,
Oh, for sure.
and
Yeah.
New Orleans defense, you kind of hit yourself. It's like a revolving door here. Kelsey scores, your points go down for the Saint defense. Kelsey doesn't score, points go up for the Saint defense. Yeah. Best of luck, though. Best of luck.
Yeah. Good luck to those out there that are still chasing the league. Dylan had Kirk in his league and popped off for a good 50 points. So yeah,
you
if
go.
you had Kirk Cousins or if you had anyone on the Atlanta Falcons offense,
Anyone. Ray McLeod,
you
Darnell
should
Mooney.
be winning your league. You should be. I don't know. You would have had to have a terrible, terrible day from everybody else. But, wouldn't you know it? I had like two teams, I think, that had Drake London, and then one that had Kirk Cousins, Drake London, and Darnell Mooney. So I was like,
That'll do
that is an automatic. I don't care what
That'll
I
do
score
it.
because it's over. But it happens. So let's see here. We've got trying to see if there's any other updates.
Slay got to get traded by the deadline, says Jarky Beef.
I knew
We'll
that was
see.
going to be here pretty soon.
We'll see. Where's Ceedee Brown in his recovery? I think that they're going to try and activate him. I think we should expect to see maybe something about activation on Monday. I mean, he's eligible to be activated on Monday, and so maybe tomorrow we'll see if there's any sort of news that could go on in terms of him getting activated, and then his role, right? Because he's not really a nickel; he's a true safety. Does he just kind of mix in on dime packages? How are they going to use him? That's kind of question mark. It's not like he's just going to play immediately. The big change, if we're talking Philadelphia here, before we kick off for this Cowboys-Steeler game, I mean, what you do at the nickel spot. I think if there's one defensive move, besides changing up your fronts and change up your scheme a little bit and just being a little more flexible, a little less hard-headed, I think Fangio's gotten in trouble there for sure. But I think it's starting Cooper DeJean at the nickel spot and seeing if he can do it, right? And obviously the Eagles are going to practice starting tomorrow, and they've probably already made the decision. Now they got to go implement that in terms of game planning for the Cleveland Browns, and we'll see if that's going to be the case or not. But that's kind of my guess on the first domino to actually drop, because they obviously didn't make any sort of moves, right? They didn't trade for anybody, they didn't sign anybody, they didn't cut anybody. That's probably the first move we can kind of wait and see what's going to happen.
Yeah, you're right, and we'll have because Fangio is very complimentary, which he's not about everyone, or at least going out of his way to talk about somebody unless he truly believes in them. But to the note of Ceedee Brown and him coming back, liked him, good player, the physicality that he brings, all of that stuff. So it will be interesting, how quickly, if he gets back out on the practice field, we would assume it'll be this week. And then probably you'd imagine like a small role, and then all of a sudden continues to go beyond that. But just to get some sort of speed, physicality, aggression, maybe Ceedee cleaned up some of the tackles, because that was spotty, last year. We will say that, but he also was good within turnovers. And so when we look at this squad and go, okay, there's only been 2 turnovers for Reed Blankenship, and that's all for the entire squad, then there's a little bit of a concern. So hopefully you could just spark a little bit of something with the defense. But yeah, they've got to get things figured out, as obviously the offense does. So it's complimentary, but at least it's Cleveland. If we talked about it, we've mentioned it a number of times, but if you're looking to try to get right, You'd want it to be probably, there's not too many more teams you would pick to say, who do you want to face coming out of the bye week that looks
Yeah.
abysmal than what you saw here from Cleveland today. So I don't know.
Let's hope. You're at home, right? Obviously, the home fans will boo you if you're going to stink. Phillies, thankfully, got a win today. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it would just be nice to have a nice, easy. We've said this, it's been since the Miami game that you and I were both at, week 6 of last year, whatever it was,
Yeah.
a 10-point victory. That's what we need. We need a 10, 15, 20 point. Let's just do what the Commanders did and kind of say, hey, we're back. Here we are. We're going to be just fine. And then you should go in and beat the Giants, right? The Giants obviously have a very good defense. Their defense played very well today against the Seattle Seahawks. But at the same time, there were a couple of pretty funky plays there by Daniel Jones and the Giant offense. You should be able to go in and win. Saquon Barkley revenge game, all the sort of fun stuff that we would expect.
Yes. Yeah. Even, and again, kudos to the Giants for going to Seattle and getting that win. But you're right. There was, I don't know if you saw at the very end, someone, I think, posted a clip. I can't remember who it was that first did it, but it started getting, going all over the place. But a little bit of a defensive hold maybe on that final field goal attempt.
Maybe a little bit.
It appeared to possibly hold the man down to allow Isaiah Simmons to jump over and get the block. But, it wasn't called, so I guess technically it's all right. But
sure.
Still, they
allow
won.
Block field
they
goal.
got the
Can't
dub.
allow block field goal. Come on. What is Seattle doing?
Several of those.
Seattle feels like the same team every year. They just don't have any sort of magic, right? They're a good football team. They can beat you on any given week, but they're just, the 6th seed, the 7th seed. Maybe they compete for their division in the end, and then they get beat in the first round. They just don't feel scary at all. They just don't have that kind of it factor that we kind of came to expect whenever it was Russell Wilson, right? And then a younger DK Metcalf and a younger, offensive line and those sort of things. But I don't know. They just don't scare me. There aren't a lot of teams that do, and we talked about this, but I don't know. It's just it's very interesting. I'm fascinated. While we continue to wait for this rain delay to see what Dallas looks like tonight, right? This feels like kind of a breaking point for the Dallas Cowboys. They need to win this one, and they need to look good doing it. If they look bad against a very good defense, and Justin Fields is kind of upstart. He's been playing pretty well. He had a good game a couple weeks ago. Then, Dallas could be in real trouble. You have some real question marks on Monday's show.
Yep, it's going to be because obviously pulling up here with the graphic, but for people official as of right now, updated. So they got the couple games remaining, but Dallas at their 2-2, New Orleans 2-2, Arizona got the dub against the 49ers, so 2-3. Packers, everybody just clustered there. You do. You've got the Minnesota Vikings. Congrats to them, 5-0. Washington, as we said, yes, they're the front runners, especially in the NFC East right now. But is it a question of, are they legit? Are they pretenders? Are they somewhere in between? Are they fortunate? Because obviously they're going to get an easier schedule coming into this season. They've lived up to expectations so far. I mean, you can't knock it the fact that, hey, they're at least taking care of business and getting wins. But it's like, they still also lost to Tampa Bay 37-20 in the season opener. Sure, it could have been some rust. It could have been first game jitters or whatever. And now they've gotten their stride. But it's going to be interesting. And even with their schedule, though, like it's fairly easy in terms of travel. Now they'll have some bigger challenges in terms of opponents, but much like towards the very end of the season for the Eagles, I saw a tweet that was saying the Commanders probably won't hop on a plane until like week 15. It's like week 14 or 15 from this point on. So
pretty nice.
Not the worst travel situation. You say that.
They're a problem. Now they do play Baltimore. That's that 1 p.m. game that CBS was trying to hold, but NBC wanted to flex to Sunday Night Football next week. That's a massive game, and that's going to be extremely expensive. I saw the ticket prices are like $600 a pop to go see Lamar versus Jaden Daniels. That's a very good test because the Baltimore Ravens are really, to me, one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC right now, despite almost losing today to Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Then they go Panthers. I mean, you mentioned this, right? Bears, Giants. That's a pretty easy 3-game stretch. At worst, I mean, they should really be, 7-2 by the time they go ahead and take on the Steelers. So then 8-2 whenever they play us in Philadelphia on Thursday night, a game you and I will probably be at. It's a good football team. They run the ball very, very well. They have weapons on the outside, not a ton. They could use, that kind of Devontae Adams type figure, but Terry McLaurin is playing very, very well. Zach Ertz seems 3 years younger. It seems kind of like vintage Zach Ertz. He's a little slower, but he still seems pretty good. And they don't turn the football
He's doing
over,
enough.
So it's a good football team. I mean, it really is. And we talk about their schedule, right? Besides the Steelers and us, they play the Titans, Cowboys, Saints, and Falcons outside of the division. Like, I mean, is there a winning football team on that list right there that actually has a winning record by the time the season's over? Atlanta, maybe. This is probably an 11-win Commander team. I mean, unless they really implode, I think they're going to be way, way, way up there. They're going to be very, very good.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. I think whenever I started it too, is like the Commanders. You have to give them credit. They're a good team. Like they are a good team. The question is, do they become a great team or are they a great team? And we're going to figure that out over the next several weeks. But it's the reason that they play the games, and certainly within the early season, as I guess the old adage is, you don't know about a team officially in September, but you start to figure that out now because we're into October, and then you get into November football. Like you're going to definitely know. People asking. I mean, that's fine if you guys don't want to follow. I'm getting some maybe trolls or I can't tell, but it's literally just streaming a Sunday Night Football primetime matchup. So it's just to hang out because we had a bye week. So I mean, hang out if you want to, but the accusations of non-Eagles fans, like, okay, yeah.
Is that what we're getting?
Yeah, go look at the channels, bro. Come on.
Yeah,
people.
Just take a look at
obviously
every
not
other
OGs.
video we've done besides this. Yeah,
cool. It looks like I think there's not another delay or not an additional delay, I should say. So I believe we're like, unless there's something I've been refreshing for tweets or whatnot, but I think we're like
10 minutes.
Yeah, a couple like five or 10 minutes away now from kickoff. So yeah,
I've just cranked my fan even higher. Can you hear it, or is it fine?
I don't think I can.
I can't hear it either. I think it's fine.
We should be fine. Yeah.
For those joining, my AC is dead, so we are cranking fans right now. We're cranking fans to try to see if we can hang on. And so far it's a little hot. Next week in Atlanta, it's going to get to down to the 50s. It'd be perfect right now for my AC to go out because it'd be down to 50s. Open the windows, you sleep just fine. But it's a low of 63. But that's at 4 a.m. So it's still going to be hot until we wake up. But it's going to low of 50 on Friday, which is pretty crazy. That's pretty cold. So. Gonna be fun.
I mean, that's incredible weather. That I'm honestly really jealous because it's supposed to get down to like 85, I believe, for us. So it's not near as close to where you're at there, but that's.
Boy, I'm seeing
I will say that
a tweet 3 minutes ago here, Josh. I'll send to you. It's pouring rain. Holy cow! In
really?
Pittsburgh, and this what is this? 103.5 The Fan. Oh yeah, he's a 103.5 The Fan guy. Says this game is not starting anytime soon.
Oh, geez. I see that one. Ooh, yeah, that's coming down.
Yeah.
I just shared it here, too, so people can see it.
That's a lot of rain. That is a lot of rain. Of course, they can play in a lot of rain, but as soon as a lightning strike hits, it's kind of the problem is that it's that red weather strip on your weather.com app that's really the problem.
Golly, that's... I mean, like you say, 3 minutes ago, seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any other delays as far as what they're saying, but just the eye test there and the fact that people, I mean, there's literally nobody in the stands on top of potential for lightning. Yeah. It may not happen.
It could get delayed. I mean, they could kick this one off at, I don't know, the last time we actually had like a legit weather delay. I'm trying to remember that Eagle Viking game that was like a Monday nighter or was a Sunday nighter, got pushed to Monday or was pushed to Tuesday. And we lost that game too. It was that weird backup quarterback who came in and played, the mobile guy. I'm trying to remember what year that was.
Was it Webb? I think his last name was Webb.
It was Webb.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Davis Webb? Gordon Webb?
Golly, that's going to drive me crazy now.
Yeah. Webb, Vikings, Joe Webb.
Okay. There you go.
Joe Webb versus Eagles.
I think he was
when that game was.
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, he was listed as a quarterback / receiver, and you could play him in fantasy because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that somebody played him as a receiver, and I was like, what the heck? He's a quarterback here, but you get the points both sides, so kind of double dipping from getting a quarterback. Yeah, we're seeing some other people.
I think that was that Vic game that we lost at the link, and I think that was because it was delayed. Yes, it was a Tuesday night game. Here you go. Tuesday night because of a foot of snow fell in Philadelphia. Okay.
Jeez, a foot of snow. Okay, I was going to say, I remember it was a cold one, but I couldn't remember for what extent. But yeah, that would do it, I would imagine. That's
crazy. I forgot about that one.
1 foot.
That is crazy. This is going to just turn into just more of just like a Sunday link versus an actual stream here. This game's not going to kick off. This is crazy.
I'm telling you. This is yeah, I've seen somebody saying that I think they delayed it again, but I'm looking for an official tweet of like timing.
Yeah, me too.
I can't see an ETA.
Oh no. Yeah, I can't see an ETA as well. Let's see. Yeah, I just got it was delayed for 30 minutes ago. So obviously they have kicked another delay here. So yeah, well, we'll hang out for a little while longer and see if this one's going to kick off. I'm glad we're not. This is an Eagles game, or else it'd be a lot of Eagle fans who we're going to be up very late and not want to go to work tomorrow. So
Yeah, at least you don't have to worry about that.
Bye weeks are so boring, man. I mean, honestly, they're so boring. From a content creation standpoint, sure, but just from a fan standpoint, like nothing happened this week, you know? And it stinks because you're right in the middle of the NFL week, and this week 5 bye is so strange because it feels like we're back into the off season, like it's May or something. But everyone else is having all this fun, and we're kind of sitting on the sideline because they didn't practice this week. Nobody spoke to anybody. I mean, it was dead radio silence on Philadelphia's side.
Mm-hmm.
And so tomorrow, for things to kick back up and to get some press conferences and do some practices and get some news, I'm pumped because watching football without the Eagles, it's nice because you're not stressed, but it's so boring. You're just like, it's like something is missing. Yeah. And what's also missing is the feeling finishing up or getting ready for dinner, finishing that up, Sunday Night Football after the Eagles have won, and you get to enjoy a Sunday night game. Like today would be a perfect day if the Eagles would have won. Obviously, you had the Niners lose, and then you go sit down to watch Sunday Night Football, and the Cowboys lose. It makes for like almost a trifecta in terms of just how good you're feeling. Whereas today, it's kind of okay, you know, Niners lost, okay, whatever. Cowboys game, whatever. There's no Eagle feeling right now.
Right. Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's the difference between it. But I mean, it's one of those that I was thinking the same thing because we're, you know, usually we got content and there's practice or getting ready for the game, preparations, all this other stuff. And then we got to the point where it was like, well, okay, there's literally, I mean, you're looking if we're getting any sort of updates. The bye week, naturally, it's calm and quiet. But yeah, we're about to, thankfully, next week kind of get some more news and get this thing moving in the right direction. But it was. I'm right there with you. I was kind of thinking like, okay, I got some fantasy stuff. Yeah, a couple parlays, couple bets out there. But overall, I mean, you're just like not the same feel as Eagles football, either being whether it's early or if it's a later game or even a Monday night game. If you have the feeling that the Birds are going to play that week, then naturally it's a little bit different. But I don't know. They have a delayed one at this point with the Cowboys and Steelers. It looks like another
Steelers just went to the locker room too. They just walked them back into the locker room. So that is
that's a lengthy delay.
A little more delay here. Frankfurt Phillies another 45, 50 minutes is what the delay is looking like right now. I think so. I think you're gonna kick this one off at like 9:30. It's gonna be late.
Man, okay. Somebody's saying here, that can't be true.
What does it say?
Whitwafer saying 9:53 p.m. will be the start time. That I didn't see. I have not seen tweets on that. Hang on.
There's no way. Oh, it's hailing. There's a little bit of hail. Well,
gosh.
that might not be true. I think it's just heavy rain. Someone said. Yeah, I don't know if that's true. That's fake news. I think that they would show that on the broadcast if it was actually true.
Yeah, you would think so. Yeah, I'm not seeing an official. Only thing I'm getting is it's been delayed additionally due to weather, but I'm not getting official like time on it at all. So.
Yeah. Well, we'll hang out a little while longer here, I guess, and see what's going to happen. This is a big primetime match. I mean, two of the biggest fan bases too. People are probably dying for this game to actually happen in terms of Cowboys and Steelers fans, and it is it's not the case. Not the case. Wait, how about did you talk about the Bills game at all today? I cannot believe what the Bills did.
Gosh.
Throwing the football 3 times from their like 1 yard line and then punting it, and Texans needed like a first down, and then they kicked the field goal to win it. That felt. I know that like Houston had timeouts, and so I get the idea. But they took 3 shots, like 3 prayers down the field when you just needed to maybe run it for 5 yards, slant route for 5 yards, just breathe a little bit from your own end zone. Crazy. That was a weird game. And I thought Buffalo outplayed the Houston Texans the majority of that day.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking the same thing because whenever I saw Josh Allen, I was like, cool, I understand maybe the first throw, but then
Yeah.
you get the second one and the third, you're like, okay, this is going to end up coming back to bite you. You know, we talk about clock management and issues, coaching decisions, and all that. If that had been Sirianni, we would for sure have let him hear it, and it had been like, what are you doing? Obviously, there's a difference if you're close or have a
Yeah.
better chance in field goal range to try to move down the field quickly, but you know, it's I think also another reminder too. You see head coaches around the league and how many times do they do things or not do things that
Yeah.
almost cost them. You know, we talk about I guess a former Eagles head coach, but one that very badly needed to win in the Jacksonville Jaguars that barely held on. I mean, it was what 34-20, I think 34-20, and then
Yep.
Joe Flacco just starts dropping bombs, you know,
Yep.
to Alec Pierce, and next thing you know, like, wow, this is back to 34-34. So
Yep.
that almost lost that one, but good for Dougie P, good for Trevor Lawrence getting the first win of the season, maybe saving his job for a little bit. Probably not for the long haul, but they at least got a win.
I saw Frank from Philly. He just said, "Good thing this is an Eagles game. Eagles hate playing in the rain." I hate when they play in the rain as well.
Yeah, all
I
weather.
cannot stand it. I hate whenever it's a factor. I thought that Super Bowl they played, Super Bowl 50, whereas like at MetLife Stadium was like the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life because it was clearly an advantage for the Seattle Seahawks, you know, whatever. But I am very much in favor of non-bad weather games. And thankfully Philadelphia's had some pretty good weather games versus where they were last year, where they had like a billion bad weather games. And so far they've played in domes, which has helped, or played in pretty clear skies. And so hopefully that goes ahead and stays there. We need to be worried about the whole division since it says Ace Boogie. Yeah. I mean, I think the NFC East is pretty evenly knotted right now. I do think that Phillies still has the best roster. Well, maybe best offensive roster, right? I think that you take the
They
Commanders
should
defense,
on
but
paper.
on paper, yeah,
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 that's the part that kind of remains to be seen because we've really only seen 1 week of, you know, week one, Eagles full strength roster on offense, and there's still, you know, some like rust that they're trying to work out and things like that, but still 1 week of what the roster can be, and then that's it with the injuries and guys in and out of the rotation. So I don't know, but yes, I think on paper you still would give the edge to Philly, but again, kudos and credit to the Commanders because like they've been taking care of business. They're 4-1, and you don't, as we know, as everyone knows, you don't luck into 4-1 in the NFL. I don't care who your opponents are. You don't luck into a 4-1 situation with the way that they've won some of these games. You could say one thing if it's like, oh man, they're just eking out these victories,
yeah,
but good teams should go into a game like against the Browns and
yep.
absolutely demolish them. And we have struggled against teams that we should be able to win by multiple possessions since, you know, you mentioned it at the top with the Miami game. And I mean, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for Jalen to be the guy to lead the offense, to not turn the ball over. The defense play complementary football, shut it down by because again, if you go back to it and look, say, hey, well, Commanders were up 24-3 at halftime, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to go overboard here and you know get carried away, but at the same time, and I've seen lots of reactions on Twitter about this, but like through the first 5 games of the NFL season, the Commanders team now looks and feels some similarities to what the 2022 Eagles team was
Yep.
because they're jumping
Yep.
out in these games, not all of them, but they jumped out to leads in a couple of them. They looked very efficient in most phases of the offense, in most possessions of the offense.
True.
And then it's only asking the defense to do one thing and say, hey, they have to come back now. So pass rush, go have at it. You don't have to play as tight within the running game. You can kind of pin your ears back here and then go be successful. So it's a long season, and you know they could end up falling flat. Jaden Daniels could get, you know, some rookie issues that he runs into, but so far they've been playing really well.
It just would be nice to have maybe a vintage Jalen Hurts game, right? I mean, Jalen Hurts has
Hmm.
been getting ripped up and down by a lot of Eagle fans. He's not played great. He's not played terribly, but I don't think that he's played, you know, fantastic so far this season. Just a nice vintage win, right? Throw for 3 touchdowns, run for 100 yards, throw for 300 yards, like whatever you need to do to just kind of like, you know, showcase the rest of the NFC that Philadelphia at full strength is going to be really good, and they should be really good, right? I mean, we go through not just the Eagles' overall schedule, but we go through who Philadelphia will play later on in this season, right? You talk about the next couple of weeks between Browns and Giants and Bengals and Jaguars. That Bengals game is still going to be very hard, Josh. I mean, the Bengals lost again today. They have a losing record whenever we play them. That's a serious test for this defense because Jamar Chase looks fantastic. They scored 38 points, whatever it was today. They should have scored more, should have won, whatever. Dallas, then that Washington matchup, which it really might feel like kind of the divisional, not the divisional decider, but kind of that 3/4 of the way to the season, really showcase on who's going to pull ahead, right? If Philadelphia were to be undefeated going into that game in terms of their previous 5 games, and maybe it's a battle for the division, either way. Then you have the Rams, Baltimore. Those are 2 tough ones, but you finish out Panthers, Steelers, Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. Like, it's right there for the taking. It truly is. They just can't have a slip up against Cleveland. They can't have a slip up against the New York Giants. They cannot lose the Jacksonville Jaguars on Sunday Night Football on Kelly Green, right? That's where we got to make sure they don't have another Falcon game, right? Where they have the lead, then they blow it. It gets ugly. Like that's the main concern is that you were to blow next week or really win next week, blow the Giants game, right? You're 3-3. That's when it could get really, really ugly and people start really thinking about if this team has a chance of doing anything this year, because there are really 3 categories of teams every year, Josh. There are the teams that are already dead, right? The teams that already are going nowhere. You watching that Dolphin Patriot game today is a great example. Both teams are going nowhere. I mean, neither one of those teams are any good, right? So you could be one of those fan bases. You could be a Panther fan right now where clearly it's not going to work. You could be one of these mediocre teams that will have hope for a while, but then eventually they'll lose enough games. I think the Bears are a great example of that. They're a up-and-coming football team. Caleb Williams played well today in a win against the Panthers, but they're going to hover around 500, a game above, 2 games below, whatever it is. And eventually by week 15 or 16, the division's out of reach and they're not going to probably make the playoffs, or they're barely going to make the playoffs as a 7 seed. They're not going to win a playoff game. Then you have the real contenders, right? And last year, Josh, we were in the real contender category until about week 12. And then we basically turned into that middle category where the Bears are right now, where we're pretty much a 500 team, gonna lose in the first playoff game, guaranteed, and that's what happened. And so I think Eagle fans need to be proven we're not in that middle tier category because we're too talented to be in the bottom tier. You got to be proved to the rest of the fan base that you can be a actual competent football team that can win a playoff game. And if they go on a little run, I think we'll all jump back on the bandwagon.
And let's be honest too. I mean, we're 3-10 over the last 13 games. So you're right in the sense of like it felt like you're somewhere in the middle of the pack. But even the 500 category, as of recently, with the Sirianni debacle and like where's the locker room at and the issues and all that stuff, but leading back to last season and then continuing on to this season, you're talking about a 3-10 type of situation there over the last 13 games. Yeah. It's crazy. It's inexcusable with this type of roster, with the talent that you have, even if there's some weaknesses, which, yes, you had some last season. This year, you're questioning where is that? Some injuries, sure, but ultimately, you're trying to figure things out. As Frank from Philly here was saying, OMG, you guys, Washington's not a threat at all. They play the most easiest team so far. Identity will be figured out, and when it does, they will crash out. So, I mean, I understand that thought, and it could be right, but at the same time, there's momentum is a dangerous thing, as we all know, and we talk about it with the reverse with the Eagles last year, right? Because you're doing pretty well until all of a sudden you fall off a cliff, but. Yeah. Last year, getting to 10-1, every single time you and I would talk about this, every single win except for maybe the Miami one was like, what are we doing? What on earth? These are teams that we have no business playing these nail-biter situations, winning last second, luck, maybe not. You're just right there. And this is right now where you see Washington is taking care of business in the wins that they've gotten. They did lose a game, sure. And they may not be as legit, but all we're saying right now is that they are a good team. They are a good team. Come back on. I'll admit it. If we come back 100%. Away from this season and they end the year at what 6-11, fine. I'll be like, wow, I was totally off. I was sold on it in the beginning, but I believe and see that there's momentum, and you have belief in that system, and you're seeing the squad around the Commanders buy in. That it's like, no, they're not going to be an easy out. Now, does that mean they win the division? No, I'm not saying that, but they're going to be a difficult matchup. I mean, the Commanders have already given the Eagles all that we've bargained for the last couple of years in matchups against the Commanders, but this season is going to be no different, especially with Jaden Daniels, who looks like very early, I'm not calling him this, but a very early Lamar Jackson. And so you can see why NBC wanted to flex and get the Ravens on that matchup.
He's a very early version, but a much better thrower than Lamar Jackson was year one. Lamar Jackson
Oh yeah,
basically couldn't throw year one. I know that now, excuse me, we all consider him a great pocket passer with, incredible mobility as we get another lightning flash up on the screen there. So it's not
lovely.
looking good. But Lamar could not throw year one. That was the serious concern. It was like, can he ever get to be a legit pocket passer? Jaden Daniels, the most accurate quarterback in the National Football League right now, completion percentage wise, right? Like he is crazy, crazy accurate and making some really good throws. But the thing is, though, Josh, he doesn't need to be Superman for that team to win. He only had 170 yards passing today, like 14 completions or whatever the number was.
Mm-hmm.
They're running the ball well. They're hitting the big plays whenever they can. They're not trying to force them, and they're not turning the football over either. That's always a recipe for success. And I think that kind of goes back to this whole idea of needing a big Jalen game, because you just mentioned that the Commander players are all bought into Jaden Daniels. They believe they can win every single week because of Jaden Daniels, right? And I think Eagle fans believe that too of Jalen Hurts, but it's been so long. You mentioned, how many losses we have, 3 wins in the last 10 games, whatever the number is. I think a lot of Eagle fans are starting to kind of get a little bit of that, man, maybe we could lose today because Jalen Hurts plays bad. That's going to be it. And so if you get a good Jalen Hurts game, band a couple together in a row, maybe the fan base will start to kind of buy back in. The team will buy back in, and we'll have that same fear that kind of was going to strike a lot of teams playing the Commanders this year of, oh, Jaden Daniels can beat us on any given day.
Yep, that's what you need to have. We got to have momentum building. Hopefully, take advantage of those 4 games because again, it comes down to what you see right now. There's not an easy win necessarily in the NFL. We do see some of those teams, but heck, look at everyone's survivor pools. Who I think that it's been a crapshoot this season of all seasons. Yeah. I mean, like everything that I've heard is like, oh, hey, our survivor pool was done by week 2 or 3. And then we redid one. And now it's basically done by this week, right? Because all the upsets that we've had occur. So there's not a guarantee in anything, but as close as you can get. And I hear from all the comments, and you do too. We get it in both of our shows of like when we say, hey, the schedule here sets up nicely for the Eagles. It's not saying that we're going into it of, oh, the Eagles are for sure going to win, blah, 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 because we said that last season. It's just that it does accurately and correctly set up nicely. That it's if you want an easy schedule, those are the teams so far that would be quote unquote easy. Now we're still not going in there and saying because of what the Eagles have shown us that it's like, well, immediately you get an Eagles win by 20, and then you go into the Giants, you win by 15 or 20. You just start rolling these teams. They got to prove it. But to your point there, it's like if they can start to build that momentum, I think it'll be a snowball effect in a good way of, okay, Jalen's got some confidence. He's not turned the ball over in hopefully a couple of games, which would seem crazy at this point because we haven't seen it. But if he can go multiple games without a turnover and A.J. Brown's back to the offense, firing all cylinders there, Saquon Barkley, maybe he doesn't even have to be as involved, but definitely run him at the right times. And then you have the defense who maybe they get a little more confident because they're saying, hey, you know what? If we're getting some stops, the offense is taking the ball, they're going down and scoring quickly. It just gets going in the right way. But, we have yet to see that. And so as of right now, I know everybody that you see or hear from or look on, social media, or I'm sure people just talking to your other friends of other teams, it's a total question mark. Like, it's like, what's going on with the Eagles? Like the coaching is kind of off, but like what's happening? It doesn't make sense because everyone sees the roster and they knew about it beforehand, but it's like, okay, they're not really there and firing all cylinders, but it's new coaching staff and sometimes there's growing pains there as well. But the bye week, maybe you get some regroup. Got to start out fast. I mean, that's the thing that we continue to say. So the hope would be that over this lull and quietness that we have not heard from the team, that they've figured out somehow a way to score in the first quarter. And I mean, touchdowns, not field goals. Field goals will be fine, I guess, but like, please a touchdown. We haven't had that since what? I think Julio Jones was the last one.
Game.
Yeah. So
which we lost.
Way too long. Way too long.
Speaking of too long, we have another 30-minute minimum delay as they just had another lightning strike. So we are 9 p.m. on the East Coast, and there will be another 30-minute delay here.
Boy.
So
lovely.
That
9:53 time may be a little bit more accurate than what
it
we
might
were
be
thinking.
accurate. It might be accurate. So for me, it's going to turn into just a hangout, probably until the game starts, because I'm not going to be able to stay up for the entire game. But we will hang out and have fun until that happens. So shout out to everyone who's bored on a Sunday night with no football happening right now.
Yes.
Appreciate people that are
or if it's a post-Phillies game celebration, whatever it is.
But yeah. Thank goodness they won today. Thank goodness the Bats came alive today. I'm not I'm not a big
Jeez.
baseball guy. I don't think either of us are big baseball guys. Obviously, we're cheering for the Phillies, but yeah, just the fact that they blew the Wheelers start yesterday, and
Mm-hmm.
then today, the bullpen giving up some runs, and then able to kind of figure it out in the end. The atmosphere is great, and I know Sirianni was at the game yesterday. I don't know if he was at the game, this past or
Yep.
this earlier today. Excuse me. I don't know if that was because that's why they had a slow start because he was in the crowd, but it does feel like the Eagles are one of the
Didn't have the
few.
offense until he left.
Yeah, well, one of the few sports towns, Philly in general, the support between, the four, but really the three big franchises there between the MLB, the NBA, and the NFL is crazy. I mean, people go nuts. They go absolutely nuts.
As they should. As they absolutely should. That was wild because it was like literally a reverse from yesterday. It's like, okay, offense it really looked like, because I was like, man, the Phillies are going to lose this. They're going to go down 0-2. And then the bats come alive. They needed the wake-up call. And there you go. Bryce Harper, home run. Make it a 3-2 ball game. And then, what was it, back-to-back right after he did. Cassie with the tie-up. So, I mean, whatever it takes, I suppose. Sometimes it's a little bit crazy that we don't start out a little bit quicker than that. But, yeah, Shaq here saying there was that comment. Yeah, Phillies had an absolute masterclass of a finish. Best playoff game I've seen. It was insane. I mean,
about best playoff game ever, but it was pretty good. Yeah,
it was insane
good.
Back and forth because there were so many times. I think that for me, and maybe this is just like, I don't know. I'd be curious for people that are like avid like baseball watchers, because I'll watch a lot of games, but it's more so in playoff time, But like for playoffs, it feels like for me how to equate like a good playoff game is how many times, and this might also say how emotional I can get, but how many times do I go, oh, the game's over. Oh, wait, actually, we're going to win. Oh, wait, actually, no, we're going to lose. Like how many times that my meter was going that this thing is going to totally go in one direction, and then it changed. And that felt like it was after the fifth inning, it was like just up and down. It went back and forth every single inning just about. So good game. They got it. I don't think the Phillies are 0-7 when they lose the first game of a series. I think I saw that tweet. So maybe they can rewrite the history book so far. They haven't done it yet, but get on the right track today. We need the Eagles to get that momentum, to take that. You mentioned Sirianni. I did see that same tweet. There was some fan that went viral for yelling at him, take the points or something. Kick the field goal, take the points. So everyone knows they're going to let him hear it. So
that we are so close to being 3-1. 3-1 feels so much different different than 2-2. Like 2-2, you just feel like a mediocre blah. You're a loss away from being under 500. 3-1 is like, like we're 3-1. We're feeling really good. Like it's going to be great. It's crazy how close we are. And then of course, if you had to beat the Falcons, and then fast forward 2 weeks watching them almost beat the Chiefs, and then really playing a great game this past Thursday night against the Bucks, we'd be all sitting there going, "Oh my gosh!" Like we've beaten some good teams. Not the case, and the Packers look pretty good, even though they lost today. That's going to come back to be a very, very solid win for Philadelphia. Playoff seeding, that one's going to matter. The Bucks game was a bummer on the other side, but oh man, WPXI says thunderstorms should leave by 11 p.m. Eastern time. There's no way they'll still play that game at 11 p.m. Eastern time, right? Like, what is the actual cap in terms of how late they'll go for this one?
I have no idea. Charles is saying, I wonder if NBC is going to make this game Peacock exclusive outside of Dallas and Pittsburgh areas due to NFL rules if the storm continues to wreak havoc. Maybe, yeah, like just because it is so late. But you're right. Then at that point, I mean, aren't they just shooting themselves in the foot because they like commercials, airtime, viewership, everything else? They'll be like, they know what they're asking for, right? The ratings wise, if they get this thing kicked off at 10 o'clock, ratings is going to be atrocious. And it's two fan bases, like as unbiased as we can be, it's two fan bases. You're going to get good viewership for this game if it's during regular time. So I don't know. That'd be interesting. You'd got to think that they're at this point, they've got to be at least considering it. That'd be wild.
I don't think we've ever had all power in downtown Pittsburgh shut off. Fans are saying the stadium is dark. Is that true too? I'm seeing that from multiple people. Do they really lose power?
I saw it.
It's a crazy storm.
Oh my gosh, I'm seeing
Philly as well. It must be hitting Philadelphia, right? Or is it too?
It may be
or is
too
it not big
western,
enough?
maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at the.
Hard to say.
Yeah, here's I'll throw up a little video here for people that maybe haven't seen or watched him, but yeah, some decent lightning there. Apparently right before, I guess some of the power went out, but I'm not seeing official like of the stadium itself being
Yeah, I don't have the
blacked out.
stadium being completely blacked out. Let's see here. What does this say? Um. Oh yeah, they're saying that that the stadium still has power, but the skyline lost power for a second, and it has come back, right? Because the Pittsburgh stadium can see the Pittsburgh skyline. So the Pittsburgh skyline power went out and then has come back on. So the stadium is with power.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I've confirmed that. So, all right. So it
Hmm.
looks like it's not the worst thing in the entire world.
Doesn't look great,
The
but
stadium power going out would be nuts. That'd be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy.
you got some let's see. I think I can. Yeah, I got some fans that are gutting it out. Looks like,
Dude,
just
rainy
sitting there
football
in the
games
rain.
are not
I
fun
mean,
to hang out at. Not fun to hang out with. I took my buddy Alex, my best man at my wedding, who you obviously met
yeah,
at
oh
my
yeah.
wedding. He's a Jaguar fan. I took him to the Eagle Jaguar game 2 years ago. It was like it was in 2022, so we were playing really
Mm-hmm.
well. We won the game, but it was pouring the entire time, and you're just sitting there. It's not fun. It's I mean, you can put a poncho on, you put a rain jacket on. It's just awful. I hate it. I'd much rather be cold. I'd much rather be hot. I'd much rather it snow. The rain is not fun. I've been to a lot of snow games because my dad would take us to Air Force Falcon football games when we lived in Colorado because he went to the Air Force Academy. And my brother did too. We went to a ton of snow games as a kid, and those are fun, right? Because it's not like
Oh yeah.
wet. I mean, snow is obviously wet, but it's not like you're getting pounded with rain and you just hate your life the entire time. So would much rather have that. Absolutely much rather have that.
I would totally agree that, and we went to the NFC Championship game. That was like a little
Yep.
bit of the rain, but we were kind of sitting there
It made
wondering,
stop,
is
right?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it just stopped right before. But
Yeah.
I was thinking, if we got some actual, precipitation here, this thing could get a little bit ugly because it was like in the upper
Mhm.
30s, I believe, lower
Mhm.
40s, which was kind of similar to the Miami game, which was surprising with how early in the year that was. But back last season, whenever we went to the Miami game, um, I agree though. Like the fact that you have, or if you get a cold weather game with some snow, I'm totally all for that. I actually enjoy cold weather, but if you get rain involved, that's where it's a little bit different. So, nonetheless, there's a lot of Steelers fans I'm seeing. I mean, just video clips and everything else, just hanging out in the
Yep.
ponchos. Some of them just normal attire, getting absolutely drenched. So good for them, hanging out, waiting for the game to start.
Shout out to Alex being in the chat. I just mentioned, just talked about him with the game. He said 40, windy and rainy, freezing but fun, says Alex. He's hanging out right now in the
Oh, there
chat.
we
Alex,
go.
what's up?
There we go. I was trying to find that comment. There it is.
Don't
Yeah,
know why he's checking. Don't know why he's watching this right now, but hey, we will definitely take it.
absolutely.
I've had people in my comment section want to just completely 180 here, mentioning that they have found old footage of me during the 2020 draft, upset about the Jalen Hurts draft pick, and that it somehow shows I'm a bad fan because I was mad about the Hurts draft pick. Am I the only fan who was mad they drafted Jalen Hurts in round 2 and we thought Carson Wentz was still the guy? Like, I don't think that's a controversial take at all. I
No,
think we all were like, "What are we doing? A second round draft pick? You need to get Carson Wentz help." I thought it was funny. I was looking through some of
it's
my comments from earlier today. I had like
there's
5 people mention that.
there's
No
always
one
going to
wanted
be
Jalen
people like
Hurts.
that.
I mean, none of us did. No one thought Jalen Hurts was going to turn out to be a legit starting quarterback, let alone a Super Bowl caliber quarterback in this league when we took him in the second round in 2020. Nobody
Right.
did. So
Oh, for
I will
sure.
stand by my take there. I'm wrong on a lot of things, but I was dead on how the Eagle fan base felt about why are we drafting Jalen Hurts? It just doesn't make sense.
We'll see. There's 215 Jay Philly says I'm still mad we drafted sorry ass Hurts. So there's actually currently still fans that are that way. Understandably, he's not played the best as of recent, but no, I pretty positive that you are not. I mean, you're not alone because I feel the same way. But we've seen a lot of comments from people in the past. Like, yeah, whenever we were sitting there in that situation, you're thinking like, why are we going with reinforcements? Why are we going with backups whenever it could be let's add some more weapons to the team that we already have, right? Like that was my initial thought, and that's where a lot of people
Yeah.
were at. But works out afterward, I suppose. We'll see. Jalen needs to turn around now, but Yeah, got you to a Super Bowl. Everybody was saying, "Oh yeah, I was totally on board with Jalen from the beginning,
Yeah.
before the Super Bowl." And yeah, there's a little ebb and flow, but yeah, the internet's undefeated. If you have anything posted out there, naturally people are going to be like, "Oh, see there you
They
go.
find
You
it.
were feeling this way." Hunter, appreciate that. Says great job, Thomas and Josh, having so many people in the chat with no game. Well, we appreciate you guys. Y'all make it possible.
Yeah,
Just
thanks for hanging out.
hanging out, talking ball, and everything else while we're in a rain delay. Someone was asking officially timing. I don't think that I've seen an official. There was an estimate of like 30 minutes, but that was like 10 minutes ago. So I assume in 20 more minutes if we don't get any more delays. But it's kind of a total guess at this point. Also, super chat here from Shizo Flex. Appreciate the 2. Says Daniel's the best quarterback in the East. Shaking my head, disgraceful.
I don't know about best quarterback. I mean, right now he's playing really well, but Jordan Love played well today. I mean, Matt Stafford, I think, is probably the best overall quarterback. You know, you put him on the best team, he's probably the best one out there. So, I don't know. Jay Daniels is playing well.
Definitely. So I was trying to update and see if there's anything else. Matt C. Radar shows the storms will be moving out at 9:30. Hope it's accurate. So, okay, maybe 15-ish more minutes. But then you think about if they're waiting for it to move out and then they get the players back out there, it's what, like a 20, 30-minute
They got to warm up
time?
They got to get them out there. Yeah,
Geez.
It's a mess.
Michael L. with a super sticker. Actually, I didn't have to I threw up the...
Just says cool.
Yeah, well, I threw up the comment.
I've
read this before. Fair. Yeah, but it shows up here and people can see it on the screen now. But it shows up like to read as a pair character doing a shaka sign with his hand saying cool.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
But I've read that sometimes like, what on earth is this person trying to say here? Because I'm like, I've never seen that. But yeah, the super sticker that is not actually thrown. So
by the way,
appreciate that, Michael.
People said quarterback in the East. I heard that as quarterback in the NFC. So NFC East, he is the best quarterback in the NFC East right now. NFC, he's not. That's why I said Love and Stafford. So my fault. Okay, there you go. Yeah. I was distracted with trying to find the weather, so I obviously was not totally paying attention. They haven't called the game yet. I mean, I obviously we're still. It's only 9:14 on the East Coast. Only it's still pretty late, but. Yeah, you wonder how long they would wait to call this game. I mean, are they going to kick it at 11 p.m. if it were to take that long? I don't know.
I guess.
I don't know.
It'd be wild. Good news if anybody's trying to get in a late parlay, I suppose. Underdog still got the picks for the Steelers game, Cowboys, because it's delayed. So feel free to use the code. Philly Special supports the show.
I used the code a couple days ago. I got my Underdog account. I didn't realize that I could do Underdog in Atlanta. I'm in.
There you go. That is big time right there. Have you actually we haven't texted about this. I was curious if you've hit on anything or okay. All right. I didn't know.
No, I was a little late, but I did not get anything in right now. And I don't know if I'm gonna bet on this on this game if it's not gonna happen or if it's gonna be delayed or whatever. So.
That's true. Yeah. It usually they'll like they're good about refunding if there's any delays. So if there's anything like that, what I actually appreciate the most is the fact that they refund in that situation if there's injuries before if there's injuries in the first half and you picked a guy, they'll refund that way. So you have insurance on that. They used to have, what was it called? It's called, I think it's like vulture insurance or vulture, something like that. But it was like, let's say, for example, you pick Saquon Barkley to score an anytime touchdown and then anybody else scores a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, then you automatically get your refund back. Like it's vulture insurance for winning. But what happened was everyone took Saquon for the first like 3 weeks because it's like, well, okay, Saquon's going to score the rushing touchdown, or if he doesn't, Jalen Hurts is going to score it. So it was like an automatic win. And so then they came back and like slipped in there like, we're not doing quarterbacks anymore because, we don't want Jalen Hurts. So it's like, it still is kind of nice, but it totally ruins it. Because before my strategy was literally like, I don't care who it was, Saquon, and then just pick one other pick because it's like a guaranteed win.
Yeah.
But obviously they lost way too much money on that. So like, we need to backtrack on that one a little bit more.
Boy, they're showing the Doppler on Sunday Night Football. It's just a little like stream of bad weather. It's not even like a big cluster, and so it looks like by 9:15 it's supposed to stop. But yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. It's delayed it this long. I guess it's just the fact that there's lightning. As someone's saying 9:45 kickoff, maybe
that would probably make sense if they're about done. Then they got to go do warm ups.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
says 9:45 Eastern is the official kickoff time. So
Yes, I'm
okay.
seeing that as well now. Okay. Well, I mean, they obviously made the call. If they're gonna say 9:45, they're not delaying it till tomorrow. But
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah, a lot of people now postpone the game until tomorrow night. That's late.
All those like you remember being like a kid trying to watch Eagle games, and there were times it was rare. It was when I was very young because my mom eventually realized like my parents were like, okay, he's gonna watch these games no matter how young he is. But I was
Hmm.
5 or 6. It's like okay, well you can't stay up. You know the fourth quarter or whatever it is. You wake up to see what happened on SportsCenter the next day. Think how many kids are sitting back and being like, gotta go to bed. You got school tomorrow. Sorry, no, you can't
Yep.
stay up. Yeah, it's probably happening.
Those are good days. I remember those days. Those were got to take a nap the day before. Got to have get making A's in classes.
Mhm.
Make sure that we're doing
Yep.
everything we should. Get the homework done first.
Hmm.
Take care of everything else, and then make sure that we're able to watch the game. And it worked out both ways. For like Friday, you had to do that for the Sunday games, and then Monday
Yep.
night you stay up for Monday night if you take care of everything beforehand. So, man, crazy how time flies. Though it's like 32 now, and that's wild.
It's like we are, officially 9:45. So the players are going to take the
Yep.
field in about what 15 minutes, 9:25 when they're going to run them back out there. So something.
Oh, we got a good comment here. You might see it already now, but
Mm-mm.
it's I'll let you see it. I know you're gonna find it. You're gonna see it eventually. It's about the parents. It's the rent.
Oh, there it is.
There
Evil
it is.
parents. Evil parents. Hi, mom.
How dare they?
No, I was saying it was when I was very young, but
Yeah, yeah.
eventually my parents realized that or they let me stay up for every single Eagle game. So I was giving them I
So
was trying to
so
give them credit
it should
here.
it should say good parents with the
Good
asterisk on it.
parents.
But
Good parents. Yeah.
appreciate Lori hanging out on a very late late for a kickoff time
Well,
here. It's not as bad for
she
Central, right?
she
It's
she was ready to be locked in for this Cowboy game. She's a massive football fan. She was going to be texting me talking about the Cowboys hopefully losing. And so, what else are you going to do but checking in
it's
on,
the
on your
goal.
son's stream here?
Might
So,
as well. Yeah. It's just taking a whole lot longer than we expected to get
yeah.
this one started.
And there's no way I'm going to make it through. I'll probably make it a kickoff and then I'm going to go
I
take the
don't blame
coldest
you.
shower I physically can and then sweat to death trying to fall asleep. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be a very fun AC-less night here in Atlanta, which it's going to be great. I,
Godspeed to you.
I think I look a little shinier
I
than I
was gonna
normally do right
say
now. It is
it
hot in
looks
here.
like yeah,
It is
it
hot
looks
in
like it's
here.
a little toasty.
These giant lights are just like, ooh, I'm getting cooked right
What's
now.
the official? Do you have a temperature gauge in there? Are you able to
I think
tell
it
what
was
the room
80.
temperature
I
is? It
think
was
it was
80 when we
80.
started.
Let me see. I turned off the AC because it was not working. 78 is the current temperature in the room.
Okay.
Well, no, this is in the house. In the room, it's got to be warmer because I have these giant lights going. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it's not fun. Not fun.
A nice balmy 80 degrees
Yep,
for a stream here.
yep,
I
yep.
think it's a solid like 70 in here.
Must be nice. I got the AC vent like right by my little studio area. So normally during streams, I'm just blaring the AC, get a little cold, my feet will
Love
get
it.
chilled. No, not right now. Not right
Hmm.
now. Tito says I can fix it. Well, if you live in Atlanta, let me know. I would love to have. I got a different AC guy coming tomorrow, I believe. But if you're in Atlanta and you know an AC guy, hit me up. That'd be nice. Give me the old YouTube discount. Who knows
help
how much it's gonna
help
be?
Thomas get the good rest that he needs here.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. We had somebody say, is it Ada J? I don't know if it's saying that correctly, but saying they're going to cancel it. It doesn't look like it. Adam Schefter said now expected
They're going.
8:45. Several others saying
Yep.
8:45. They're going out to warm up. So seeing the fans back out.
There they are.
NFL
I think
says
the
now
rain
we're
has
going to play it.
stopped too. It looks like the rain has officially stopped, so they are gonna go.
Yeah. All right. Well, better late than never, I suppose.
Just
I
keep
wonder what the
rolling.
latest kickoff time. That would be interesting. I would love to know that. What the latest kickoff time is. Let's see. The old Google can figure this out. What's the latest
Yeah.
NFL kickoff time?
How long has an NFL game been delayed? I wonder what do we say here? Canceled rescheduled games. No.
Somebody in the chat may know as well. If you do, just let us know. I'm curious.
I know there have been postponed games. I'm seeing here like 2003
sure.
Chargers Dolphins because of a hurricane was rescheduled, but I'm talking about just like they still kicked, but it was still very much delayed. That's kind of the question mark. Anyone want to get on Madden? That'd be fun right now if we both could just pop in and start streaming Madden, but
That
I
actually
don't
would
have
be
a
pretty
Xbox,
sweet.
so cannot do it. Almost 2 a.m. here in England, says Philly K. You gotta go to bed.
Wow.
Is not worth being up right now.
I
You gotta
mean,
go
that's
right
some
to bed.
dedication. I wouldn't be.
Right to bed.
I'm a night owl, but there's no way I'd be at 2:30 a.m.
Rico
We
says
should
it's
hang out.
65 in my house. Thanks, Rico. Must be nice. Way to rub it in there.
Rubbing
65.
salt in the wound.
10:30, 2005 says Team Birds. That must be a Google. So 10:30 is the
Okay.
latest start time. Wow. So
I mean,
another
I'll take their
hour
word
from
for
now,
it, but
what it would
wow,
actually
yeah.
be. Holy cow. That would not be fun.
I guess they know what they're doing.
Let's see. Did you see? I think it was Devin Singletary was live on IG in the Giants locker room, and then Brian Dable came up and like made him turn it off.
No, did he really?
You
I
can't
didn't
go
see that.
IG live just because you're like 2 and 3. I don't think
No.
that's allowed. I don't think it's worth going IG live for that. You got to win a much bigger game. Much bigger.
I
game.
mean, but CJ did that, didn't he? I mean, briefly, right?
Yeah, but it was the
The
Saints
game. Yeah,
Good point.
but
Good point. Yeah.
I mean,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
all about the double standards for the most part, but I guess the other thought that I had, it's just trying to, I feel like it's a bad thing whenever we have too much time on our hands, because then you start thinking and overanalyzing the situation with the Eagles and everything else.
Yeah,
You're like, oh man,
very
why did this
true.
happen? What about that?
Very
Maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is bad. But I was like, I'm sure we've all been in situations where either watching our own teams or even playing in a sport yourself, but it's like you get so hyped about one particular game that you do so well that you feel good about yourself, and then you have the complete letdown. And it was kind of like the Super Bowl of sorts. Seeing CJ Gardner-Johnson get up on top of the bench or whatever and like celebrating and talking to the fans, and Jalen Carter getting all hyped and all these emotions, and the defense playing lights out as they did in New Orleans, I kind of just wonder if, and I know they said the right things afterward, because they're going like, no, this business-like, we move into the next week. But then what we saw, the product on the field in Tampa, you kind of got the extra feeling of like, man, you guys just really treated that game like your Super Bowl, your mini Super Bowl in the early part of the season, because you're going up against a team that everyone's like, oh man, number one offense. They blew out the Cowboys. They ended up, playing really well in multiple games, and a lot of people didn't give them a chance. And all of a sudden, whenever they lose, so I'm like, there's so many different ways that you can look at it and interpret it, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm all for emotion to a certain point, but like you said with Devin Singletary, and we've seen it with a number of other teams as well, but it's like, I feel like I don't want to see that type of attitude from my team until like, hey, we won the Super Bowl, great, just let it all completely out, because otherwise you won one game, like 1-0, move on to the next week. Yeah. If they had beat the Bucks, yeah, it wouldn't have been. We'd be like, whatever. But again, you have longer time to think about it, and you're like, well, was this team locked in, or did they view that game as bigger than just 1-0? So, I don't know.
It's interesting. It's an interesting point. It'd be nice if they just focus on being 1-0, though. That'd be very nice. They beat the Browns 1-0, beat the Giants 1-0. Go and beat the Bengals, Jaguars 1-0. That'd be nice. So, Josh, I know you see this one. Austin makes no sense. Josh, when you trying out for the Eagles with your swole ass, Papali 2.0 or some. People follow Josh on IG, Philly Special. He's showing off the old CrossFit. I saw that today.
Yeah, we had the CrossFit competition. Yeah, that was on Friday. Nobody wants me out there. I promise you, nobody wants me out there playing football. Absolutely not. It's one thing to see a profile on someone and go, oh, hey, maybe he's got like some size to play. No, if you watch any film, any tape, if you ask me to go out there and do anything, absolutely not. I mean, I'm well over the hill. I'm 32 years old, and I have not played a lick of professional sports in my life. So for me to, which actually I should know this. How old was Vince whenever he got onto the team? What year did he? Let's look at this while we got a little bit of time. People are asking the kickoff time. It looks like maybe another 10 or 15 minutes for kickoff. No. If I was going to play anything, I'd be like a really slow wide receiver. There's no way I'm playing linebacker.
Vince was 30.
No.
Jeez.
Okay. All right. See, I'm 2 years.
Looks like a lot older.
I'm 2 years older. Yeah, I don't think so. And Vince had played a lot more football in his prior career as well. 6'2", 205, it looks like, was his official, I guess, listed weight when he
Probably about what you are, huh?
joined. Okay. I've got Vince by a little bit, but it's a new game in this day and age, so it's probably equivalent. The
Subtle
way that
brag.
it stacks up. So yeah, I got to hold on to something, right? Like nobody could see me actually go out there and play.
I saw someone earlier say, "Oh yeah, Team Bird says I have high school tomorrow, 6 a.m. I gotta wake up." Yeah, you gotta go to bed.
Oh my gosh,
You got high school tomorrow.
high
Man,
school at
you remember
6 a.m.
waking up for high school? Remember getting up at 6 a.m. every day to go to high school and like
It's a
sit there
long
for 8
time
hours or
ago.
whatever? It's crazy. It's like having a job. I almost forget that I used to do that back in the day.
Devontae, I appreciate it. Devontae just said Josh doesn't even look like he's 32. He looks like he's
I
23.
agree.
Thank you. I
I
appreciate
agree.
that. I will absolutely take that. I do
Josh and
remember
his wife
high school.
have very, very strong genes. That's not just height. They
Thank
both
you.
look way younger than they actually are. Very
Thank you.
strong
We will
genes.
both take that. Absolutely. I
Very
appreciate
strong
that.
genes.
Your question though about high school. Yeah, I do remember that. How great was what was it? Late arrival, early release? Did you do that senior year? Did you have
We did.
one of
I
those?
think we
Yeah.
did. Yeah,
That's
I definitely went home earlier. I don't know
okay.
if I got there later, but I definitely went home earlier. Yeah.
I'm not a morning person at all, which most people know that, but for those that may not, I'm not a morning person, so it was for sure like as soon as I could get that point of like, nope, don't want to show up. The idea of 6 a.m. anything is usually a no for me. It takes a lot of motivation to do something like that. So, on occasion when you text me and you're like, hey, you're going to get up early and do this? Like, nope, that is not going to happen.
We're opposites in that one. I'm ready to go to bed and then I'll get up early and grind. I'm ready to go. 6 a.m. not a problem, but I do not like I do not like staying up super late. I just don't last that long.
Everybody's different. You could appreciate that,
Yeah.
So yeah, if we start a movie, or it doesn't matter what time it is, we start a movie, do whatever. I'm up for some reason.
Wow.
Dylan, no, it's getting even worse. Dylan saying for D line we need help. No, like I would be.
Oh,
I would be
you? I say
murdered,
we do need
murdered on
D-line
the D
help.
line. Yeah,
Do
no,
need,
we do
but not
absolutely
you.
need D line help. No, absolutely not for me.
I do think, but I'm going to log off here in a little bit just because, this game is taking forever to kick.
Oh, for sure.
I'm going to be very, very curious about about trade deadline sellers, right? You look at the Raiders, you look at the Browns, right? The Browns, Cleveland should absolutely cut Deshaun Watson, eat the dead cap money, sell everybody for draft picks, and then just reset in 2025. Like if it was me, that's what I would do. If they keep losing with Deshaun Watson, I know that's a massive dead cap hit. It's like you're gonna pay him $1 bajillion and never play for you again. I get it, but I would sell everybody. I would just start trading people and just start trading just as many draft picks as possible because you're going to need the cheapest players you possibly can have to field a football team in 2025 going forward. So then you start wondering who's going to be let go, who could they trade. I think the Miami Dolphins could be in a very similar situation, even though they won today. They're not going anywhere fast. It's gonna be interesting to see about pass rushers, right? Just to see if they can do anything crazy at the deadline and go and get somebody.
Really, I mean, yes, anyone and everyone, we're going to see him being active for sure. I mean, as usually most all trade deadlines are, but that's kind of the excitement, which for anyone who's maybe new or hasn't already, make sure to like and subscribe because we'll have all the news and everything as we approach the deadline, which is officially, I believe, November 5th. Yeah, because it's the same day as Election Day. I forgot about that. So November 5th for the trade deadline. Interesting timeline.
Is it actually? It's the exact same, huh?
It's the same one. So
Goodness gracious.
great. Like the deadline ends, and then like all of a sudden the polls are or the voting booths are like starting to shut down for everybody. So
that won't be a
good news.
polarizing day at all either.
No,
we're just
no
quickly
chance.
talk about
No.
football. It'll be just fine. Oh boy. Oh
We're-
boy.
We're not going there. Moving on to Nolan here. Appreciate the question. I said I asked a few weeks back as we're waiting. It's officially 14 minutes to kick off, by the way. But never got an answer. How did y'all meet, and what's the Philly connection since y'all don't live in Philly? I know we've answered this multiple times, but every once in a while we have new members or people that don't officially know. But
We met at the Baylor University Newspaper Orientation Week, which was this really dumb week. I was the week before classes where we had to go up early my
Mm-hmm.
sophomore year, Josh's junior. Were you junior or senior? I think you were
Senior.
a senior, right?
Yep.
So yeah, right. And we got there a week early. And if you've ever worked at a school newspaper, no offense to anyone who's worked there, because Josh and I obviously did. It's not like how do we say this nicely? Like there's some interesting people who work for school newspapers. It's not like a bunch of like people you'd want to hang out with 24/7. And so
Yep.
Josh and I, being cool people, right? At least that's how I felt. Even though I definitely was not sophomore year of college, but we gravitated towards each other because there was some interesting people. There was some fun, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
And then we
And
started talking, and he was much older. I mean, I felt like a baby being a sophomore, and he was a senior. But he was a staff writer, he was a sports writer, and I was the starting off at the TV host, or
yep.
I guess TV reporter is what I would have been there. And we found out we both liked the Eagles, and that is where we first met.
There you go. Yep. Because they did. They went around and said, "Tell something interesting about yourself," like the big circle and the big kumbaya. And
Of
your
course they
your
did, yeah.
interesting part was, I'm an Eagles fan, and so then I was instantly
I don't remember that even being a
perfect.
thing. Okay.
Yep. Yep. And
There you go.
I was like, okay, all right. I know that we're gonna be buddies here because we were already trying to like start a podcast because I mean, you
Sure.
built. Kudos to you. Like people that don't know that you built the whole sports broadcasting program for the Baylor Lariat. So just shout out to that and the work that you did there. But we were talking about like, hey, how do we get this thing going? We're gonna have like
Yeah.
podcasts and everything else. And then naturally it was like, well, yeah, we definitely have to talk some NFL news and everything. And so, Eagles fans got to
Yeah.
stick together. And there you go. It was fly Eagles fly. And then long story short, we stayed in contact, texted kind of a joke a little bit, not wondering if it was going
Not
to
a
happen or
lot.
not. But
Not a lot.
the NFC Championship game, kind of the bet. I don't know if it was a bet necessarily or what it was, but it was like, hey, if they make the NFC Championship game, we should go. And it was kind of like, haha, yeah, cool, let's do it. And then it was about to happen. So we're like, okay, let's get the tickets. Let's
Yep.
make it happen. So
Pretty much it.
yeah.
We basically didn't hang out at college. Like we would pass each other, and obviously we would see each other in the newsroom. But
Mhm.
I mean, Josh was a senior and I was a sophomore. It's a big age difference in terms of college. He already had established friends. I was making my new friends, and so we never really I don't think we ever hung out outside of like that one instance whenever we were bumping into each other on the daily in the newsroom. And I think we'd see each other
Yeah.
at the gym. I
Yeah.
remember seeing you at the gym, but
Besides
we
the one
never
time that
actually
you nearly
hung out.
killed me on a road trip, but other
Besides
than
that, but that was
we
still
did-
technically work.
You're
Yeah,
right.
we
It was
we
definitely
carpooled together to Kansas to play Kansas State, Baylor versus K-State for a football game. And Josh was driving home late after the game. It was a night game, and I took over. And about 30 minutes in, I basically fell asleep at the wheel and it nearly crashed. But we didn't. And then Josh drove the rest of the way. So, yeah,
still
that
here to
was
live
fun.
to tell about it.
That was fun.
Good times. Good times.
Yep.
Yes, 10 minutes, almost 10 minutes from kickoff. People asking, we're almost there. But whenever you need to jump, because again, I know it's
I'll hang out
9:30
for
for
drive.
you.
I'll hang out for a drive or two.
Okay, cool.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
We're having fun. We're hanging out.
I don't want to twist your arm, but yeah, we were absolutely. As we'll see here, yeah. I mean, it looks like all the rain appears to be gone.
Yeah,
I would
it's cleared
assume
up.
that there's
It's
nothing
fine.
else coming
It's fine.
behind that. So yeah, they're gonna play this thing.
Yep.
Let's see. Dixon going Dallas by 13.
Really?
I was asking prediction. It seemed like I would say more people were going with the Steelers to win. There's still there's a decent amount Dallas.
Steeler defense, I think, is the real question here, right? Can the Steeler defense, because they were great all year long, and then Joe Flacco kind of picked them apart a little bit towards the second half of that Colts game last week, and he was great again today. That'll be kind of the interesting matchup tonight. As Frank from Philly says, that's hilarious. Pull over and let me drive. That's basically what happened. I mean, Josh is a very nice person. He very nicely was like, "You want me to keep driving?" And I just can't. I can't stay awake behind the wheel of a car, especially after I've been working the entire game. I'm running up and down the sideline. I was like holding a camera, and so I'm very, very grateful that he made it. It was like an 8-hour drive, right? It took a long time to get to Kansas.
I believe so. Yeah, I'd have to look.
I think it was an 8-hour drive.
Waco to Manhattan, Kansas. It was
And a
a
night
good
game.
while. So yeah.
Yeah. I think we ate it at Applebee's, didn't we? Did we eat it at Applebee's in Manhattan, Kansas? That was like awful.
I think so. Actually,
we ate
now
an
that you
Applebee's
say
that
that.
night. 10
I
years
remember
ago.
it was not a good restaurant because
not good.
I was feeling in not a good way on the
Not a
road
good
trip after that. But yeah, I think it was the Applebee's.
And the connection
Shout
to
out to
Philly.
Applebee's.
Connection to Philly is I just randomly picked them when I was like two or three. That's it. I have no idea why, but I just randomly picked them. We got pictures of me at like Christmas, age 3, getting my first Eagles shirt or whatever. So I just randomly chose them.
There you go. That was kind of me too.
And once you choose them, you're locked in. So
Frank, appreciate that. So glad y'all were safe. Yeah, we were glad to be alive.
yeah,
We'll say
wouldn't
that.
have YouTube channels, right? That'd be pretty crazy.
It'd be a lot of I don't where the wives would be, the kids for me. I mean, who knows? A total different change of life. But we're here and blessed to be here. Same thing though for me. I mean, pick the Eagles, Cowboys fans for pretty much most of my family members. But yeah, I was watching the local channels, which is all that we had, and the Cowboys continued to get beat. So I think I was like 6 or 7. It was the pickle juice game. So I'm trying to think of dates on that. But yeah, the pickle juice was like the ultimate game sealer for me. I was like, I don't have to be a Cowboys fan anymore. Like they're trash, they're garbage. Just because Grandpa and others are Cowboys fans, doesn't have to be. And then after that point, it's like, all right, we're just Eagles fans for forever. So even if they go through, the difficulties that we've seen, you're so invested by that point, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
But
that's the main problem, is that it's you get so invested. And I think being like a young kid, like a young guy, you're kind of naturally like rebellious at the age 4, 5, 6, 7. And so, my parents grew up as Broncos fans. We lived in Colorado a couple times. And so I was like, I don't want to cheer for the Broncos. And then, here we are. I'm kind of glad I'm not a Bronco fan, even though they basically had the same success, at least in my lifetime, because I basically started liking the Eagles in like 98, what would it be, 99, 2000 kind of area. And so Denver, they've only won 1 Super Bowl in that time frame. So, and it was like a couple years ago. So it would have basically been the exact same.
There you go. Oh, good. We got some comments here as well from some loyal fans. Paige, appreciate that. So Josh chose the rival, LOL. I did, yes, in terms of the family rival. That was the next one to choose. So we got to go with. Also, one from your dad, Thomas.
There he
dad
is. That's right. He did fly the F-15.
Positive influence. Great. There you go.
That probably did have a big influence. He's flying this fighter jet called the Eagle, and so we were around them a lot, and that probably had a big influence as well. I just don't remember the day where I was like, yeah, I'm going to be an Eagles fan, because I was so darn young. But what are you going to
do? Steven says, in quotes, wouldn't have YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Because that was
true. We'd be
dead. It's very true. It's
true.
It's
there would be no YouTube channels.
Well, we're almost to kickoff. We got the Carrie Underwood theme song being played, and it is wrapped up there.
Oh, yeah,
so
look at that. Jeez, talking about waiting all day for Sunday night, huh?
I mean, almost into the next day.
Goodness gracious. All right, yep. They are finally getting going. I gotta make sure Chris Collinsworth is wide awake for this one.
It's probably well past his bedtime.
I would not have done coffee, right? If I would have gone to this game, whatever. But if it would have been delayed this much, for sure, we would have popped an Ollie Pop, a little caffeine, a little bit of coffee. There's no way I would have been able to stay up till like 1 a.m. fully engaged. It would have been ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no, I don't blame you. It's late to begin with, but obviously for those that are not late night fans, as you can kind of see in the broadcast, if you're watching the broadcast and kind of streaming with us as well, Chris appears to be maybe a little bit tired already. So be interesting within the broadcast itself, but starting at what, 9:45?
Yeah. All right, let's see. We're getting close. Justin Fields. I really thought that they would have gone with Russell Wilson. I thought that, Wilson gave you a lot higher upside just because we kind of thought we knew what we had from Justin Fields, but it goes to show that you 100% get in the right situation. You have the right coach in your ear, and they look pretty good. That's been the case in terms of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Besides last week where the defense really kind of let them down, you're not going to score a ton of points with the Steeler offense, but this is a good football team, and Dallas could easily lose this game. And if Dallas doesn't look good, this goes back to the whole thing we talk about with the Philadelphia Eagles. If the Eagles look bad against the Browns, heads are going to roll. I think Sirianni gets fired. I don't think they're firing Mike McCarthy if they lose this game. But if they lose bad, Josh, if it's 31-10 and it gets ugly and you see CeeDee Lamb on the sideline, John with offensive coordinator, John with Dak Prescott. I'm not saying heads are going to roll, but it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's there's I mean, because there's already a lot of talk naturally within radios and segments and everything where this is actually going to be. But if the thing goes sideways very quickly, or even just kind of from what you've seen right here, I would totally agree. They're gonna there's lots of hate already for I guess specific whether Jerry Jones has gone all in. At least talking about the Cowboys, going all in or not, which they don't appear to, and dealing with the injuries that we've mentioned. So I don't know. It feels like one of those that could be a lower scoring, defensive struggle-ish.
It might be.
But like you say, with Justin Fields getting the start, I would have thought it'd be Russell Wilson by this point, at least in the beginning part of the season. Justin Fields has played more than well enough to have the job. But maybe he's firing all cylinders. He looked pretty efficient so far within the offense. And if they can't contain him, you saw what the Ravens were able to do. Not that it's the same scenario saying like Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, but you use a Justin Fields and Najee Harris / Jalen Warren combo, and all of a sudden, the worst or one of the worst running defenses in the NFL can't stop it. So I don't know. I'm interested to see where they go with that. Naomi says, the Cowboys are booty cheeks. So there's a lot of comments about that. But
and no Micah Parsons tonight, no DeMarcus Lawrence tonight. It's the worst rushing football team in the National Football League. It's not raining anymore, but a wet field. It doesn't really look like it's going to line up well for the Dallas Cowboys. It will probably take a magical night from Dak Prescott and Ceedee Lamb. You assume that that's obviously what Pittsburgh is going to be expecting from a defensive standpoint, attacking this Cowboy offense. But, Dak has his up and down games. He obviously has really good regular season moments, and maybe tonight's one of those nights, and they desperately need a win. With the Giants winning, they need to win this game just to not only keep pace with the rest of the NFC East, but the rest of the NFC in general. We looked at the Commanders' schedule almost an hour ago now. Mm-hmm. They're going to win a lot of games this year. And if you're Dallas, early losses like this can start to pile up, same with Philadelphia, and get you to a point where you don't really want to be. So it's a big game. It's a very, very important game for both, but a very important game for the Dallas Cowboys.
Yep. Because we're almost to kickoff now. We're getting super close. Still commercial break at the moment, but going to see what this Dallas team is without a Micah Parsons, without DeMarcus Lawrence, and can the defense hold up? Do the Cowboys have any semblance of a running game? Not that we, it's a super late night start for a game, but it is always somewhat interesting to take a look at your rivals, your opponents, and see what they may do or may not do against a team that you're also going to play later on in the year. So we'll see what they can do. Maxwell saying Cowboys will not make the playoffs this year. I mean, so far, Thomas, I think you said 9-8, I believe, was a potential projection for the Cowboys. I think so. Seems very realistic at this point that you could see that.
All right, I'm getting fireworks, Josh. We're going to sync up here. I don't mind calling a couple drives, see what happens.
Yep.
There should be the Steelers about to run out. Now I'm getting a Melissa Stark update there on the sideline if we're synced up here.
Yep, I'm seeing that as well. I think we should be good. I'm getting a little bit of the rain now, the recap, I guess, from previously. So.
Yep. So then you're like 2 seconds ahead of me. Then I'm getting that too.
Sweet. I can pause it for a second.
Yeah, I got the goalpost getting rained on right now. Jeez, and now the stairs, crazy the amounts of rain. All right, still though, they are about to put this ball down and get ready to kick this one off. I think we're seconds away from the special teams from trotting on the field. Get a little bit of football here.
Let's do it.
Yeah, make sure you have the right cleats too. Goodness gracious, slip and sliding is going to be crazy.
How many games have we seen where we're talking about the field issues? So it'd be par for the course if we get another one of these here.
Yep, 100%. All right. Still waiting to kick this one off for those waiting with us. Snoop Dogg is there.
Hey.
All right, there you go. It's pretty funny. I didn't know Snoop Dogg was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I had no idea.
A little extra high. It feels like, and I could be wrong, it feels like he's
he likes
fan of a lot of different teams. Yeah, I don't know if he's got extreme loyalty, but nonetheless.
Dallas says will be receiving the kick. I believe they won the toss. And so, no, sorry, the Pittsburgh won the toss. They defer, as you would expect on this field. And we're about to have a Chris Boswell kickoff. Kevontae Turpin ready to return it. And look at this, doing a little Sunday Night Football, 9:47 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be fun to hang out for a little
There you
bit.
go. It's exactly when we expected this. It's a big return up to the 38-yard line. Sorry, I may be ahead of you.
I think
can
you are
pause
ahead.
it.
Here,
Okay.
let me refresh. See if I can get it. Okay. I've got Dak walking out.
Okay, yep. I'm
right
seeing
now.
him. Okay, I think we could be good now.
All right, Dak walking out. We got a penalty here. There was a legal formation on the kickoff, meaning somebody ran a little early, and that'll be an extra 5 yards on DeMonte KZ for the illegal formation there. So Dallas good field position here. 43-yard line. You got to wait until that actually gets caught before you can start moving. And they were, that's pretty close. Like a second.
It's unbelievably close.
Very close. All right, Dak Prescott in the gun. CeeDee Lamb, lone receiver at the top of the formation. 43-yard on the Cowboys. Takes the snap, play fake, looks right, throws. That is caught by Lamb. He'll gain about a yard. TJ Watt out there in coverage, dropping out from his pass rush position. He got close to that football, Josh. Gained about 2.
There you go. It's your first play. Little quick hitter to your guy.
All right. Giving us some Dak Prescott stats. 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 picks, 93 passer rating. He's thrown the ball well. They cannot run it, and they go empty here on 2nd down and 7 from the Steeler 46. Takes the snap, 4-man pressure. Looks right, throws. That's going to be caught. That is the tight end out of the backfield. That'd be a first down for Dallas. There's the rookie undrafted free agent tight end, and that's a first down for the Cowboys.
Span forward just leaking out of that play there. Kind of an easy throw and catch for Dak.
Yeah, well, last week we talked about the Eagles getting beat on these quick throws. It's 2 straight really quick passes to neutralize that incredibly good pass rush, including TJ Watt. Here into Pittsburgh territory from the 41. Here's your first run, and that's going to be a run for about 2 as Dowell gets maybe a gain of a yard. Not much there for the worst rate rush offense in the National Football League. 2nd down and long.
You like seeing that if you're an Eagles fan, obviously, which we are. So the fact there's not as much of a running game makes them one-dimensional. They are into Pittsburgh territory, but that'll be the question, especially with a wet field.
Dowdle alone back to the left of Dak. Takes the snap, quick pass. It's a screen right side. Lamb makes a man miss, falls forward for a gain of a 4.5. So 3rd down and a long 5 upcoming here for the Cowboys on their opening drive.
All right, 3rd down. Where are they going?
Looks like they're going to huddle up. Thought they'd go quick here. They're not. They'll put Lamb in the slot to the near side. 3rd down and 5. 12:54 to go here, first quarter. Dak will be in the gun. Now going to motion running back to his right. In Steeler territory. Pittsburgh with a 5-man front. They're showing potentially bringing in an extra one. Dak takes a snap. 4-man pressure. Clean pocket. Rolls to his left. Throws across the middle. That is incomplete. So he's trying to get the ball to Jalen Tolbert, I believe. No flags, and now we wonder if there's going to be a field goal or not. It's a long field goal if they want to try it.
That was really, really good coverage from, I think that was Beanie Bishop there in coverage. I couldn't tell if there was any grabbing. I mean, he was right there on him, but no call, forced the incompletion. Good play.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what the coverage was in terms of right before that ball got there because he was kind of wrapped around him. But they're going to go for an Aubrey field goal here. This is 55. Ball snapped right hash up, drifting, and good. It had a little bit of a shake at the end there. And it's 3-0 Dallas. That's a good field goal. That would have been good from 60.
You say what you will. It's hard to give compliments, but he is a dang good kicker.
He's really good. Really good. It wiggled a little right and then came right back to the middle. 3-0. All right. Aubrey's money says Solo. Yeah, he has been.
He's won a couple of fantasy league games for me. I'll say that having him as a field goal kicker is like 31 in another game and 26 one week.
Yep. He can get a lot. Definitely get a lot. All right.
So you got a super chat here from Jordan while we were during that one. It says, what are your current feelings towards Jalen Hurts, and what do you think the main issue is with this team and possibly how to resolve it?
Jeez. How much time do you got?
Several.
I think I'm lukewarm towards Jalen Hurts. I think you and I both defended him like crazy, last year. I mean,
Mhm.
I was holding on forever until you got till week 15, 16. It's like, okay, he's playing bad. I think I'm a little bit less protective because he has not played great. And, there are a lot of quarterbacks, a lot of NFL players in general that can have one really good year like 2022 and then be mediocre the rest of their entire career. I think Matt Ryan's a good example of that. MVP winner in 20, whatever it was, 16, 2015, whenever they lost to the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Besides that year, great quarterback at times, but never really, elite, I would say. I live in Atlanta. People would argue that. I think he's a Hall of Famer, but he had one superstar year and then obviously never got back to that level. And so the worry is Hurts is going to get or become that. I don't want to buy into that yet, but I think there is some concern. And I think overall, I think coaching has not been great. Execution has obviously been bad tackling wise defensively, but some of these schemes, some of these play calls, there's been some real question marks for me from that. And you wonder how much Nick Sirianni is sabotaging this offense because it doesn't look the same week to week. It's very, very strange.
Yeah, there's someone said 215 Philly said target receipt or I guess CBS receipt, something like that in terms of Jalen. I mean, you're right. It's not all on one thing, but whenever we see kind of a common denominator with the turnovers and then the struggles of the offense and whether it's trying to come back late in games or a slow start for the offense in the beginning and we can't get any points in the first quarter, it's not all on Jalen, but it's difficult because you see some of these other quarterbacks and it's like, okay, they got systems and schemes that are put in place to help and maximize the quarterback. So maybe that's not the case, but Kellen Moore was supposed to be that. We saw it throughout training camp or heard about it throughout training camp. It's like, oh, hey, how great is Jalen Hurts? Like quick throws, not taking long in the pocket, decisive with the football, no turnovers until like the last day or second to last day within training camp. And then it hasn't been the same thing in the regular season. So it's a combination. It's several different areas, but it's somewhat concerning for sure. It's not like we can just totally, move it away completely.
Aubrey will put this one. That's returnable. Steelers take the football at the 5, down to the 20, across the 20 into the 25-yard line. As Elon Musk is at this game, Josh. How about that? Sitting in a suite. That's pretty cool.
Really?
If you'll see him on the broadcast, I saw a tweet showing Elon Musk, but obviously he's not playing. Najee Harris and Justin Fields take the field as they obviously are for their first drive, down 3-0. It's an interesting offense, Josh. I mean, listen, we obviously cover the Eagles. We don't cover the Pittsburgh Steelers, but kind of right down the road, you have Van Jefferson, George Pickens, Calvin Austin. They have some very interesting weapons on the outside to go with Najee Harris and a very good offensive line. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Pittsburgh Steelers from the Steelers 25. Down 3. Fields in the gun. Najee to his right. Here's a read option, and Fields will keep it, trying to get the edge, and does, across the 30 and just about a yard short of the line to gain. And there's that speed of Justin Fields that made him so lethal, not only at Ohio State, but especially during his up and down tenure at the Chicago Bears. Be 2nd down and short.
And honestly, if that is one of the strengths of your offense, I don't mind it. Use the legs.
Sure.
We've seen questions of Jalen Hurts and does he go with that same stance? But it's what's made Justin Fields so effective so far this season.
Officially gain of 8. They'll go Fields under center now. Motion Austin across the formation. Now he comes back around. Fields alerting at the line, pointing to his helmet with 4 on the game clock. Field takes the snap, toss left. This is Najee Harris. Cuts up the field. He's got a 1st down and a little bit more. That'll be a gain of about 4. The 1st down and 10 for Pittsburgh as they march across the 35.
There's that run defense, the suspect run defense for Dallas, showing its colors so far.
Not a great defense. They had a really good opener against the Browns, and we all said, "Oh wow, look how great they are!" And then you realize the Browns are absolutely trash. Hopefully, they are this week, but not been that great since. Under center now as Fields across the 35, takes a snap, play action, rolling to his right, stops, throws back left side, deep ball, got a man, and it's incomplete. They're trying to get Hayward. Snuck him out of the backfield, I believe, as a blocking tight end, and that one was just a little bit overthrown. 2nd down.
Yeah, you're right. They had Connor Hayward. He had a couple steps, I believe, on Kendricks, who was trying to get out there to him. But if Fields can put just a little bit more under this and just kind of let it float out there to him. He was able to get both hands on it, kind of a diving play, and then comes out as he's hitting the ground, but
He should have caught that.
had a really
I
good
mean,
chance there.
it's a little bit out in front, but it hits him right in the hands as Fields goes quarterback power out of the shotgun left side, and he's going to get hit and fall across the 40 up to the 43-yard line. A late flag comes in away from the play. Fields took a shot, and he's slow to get up right now. He looks to be okay. He's up. A little heart palpitation increase for Russell Wilson. Looks like it's not going to be the case. We have a hold on the Dallas defense. So it'll be an automatic first down for Pittsburgh.
There's your Mozzie Smith, former first-round pick for the Dallas Cowboys.
I was told he's as good as Jalen Carter.
Well, I was too, interestingly. And whenever they drafted him, they were so happy. Apparently, so happy that they wanted him over Jalen Carter. But
I've heard that too. Yeah,
he's been very up and down. To even that may be giving him too much, but they're looking at Nealand now. So we talk about one rookie. There's another rookie from this year's draft class as opposed to last year with Mozzie Smith. But down on the ground, hopefully nothing too serious, because despite being rivals and despite what people may think, we do not wish injuries on anybody. So hopefully nothing major there.
I'm seeing on Twitter, this is the latest kickoff in NFL history at 9:45 p.m. How about that?
Okay, so the 10:30 was maybe incorrect.
According to Twitter. Now, Twitter is known to be wrong, so we don't really know.
Never. I thought that was impossible. Can Twitter be wrong? Are we serious?
Sometimes. Very rarely. Very rarely. We still love it, though.
Who was the person that said that it was the latest? I'm curious.
I've lost it now. I have no idea.
All right.
Could have been one of those troll NFL accounts.
Yeah, it's true. Because it's like, obviously if you get your like Schefters or, Schrager or something like that, then we can have a little bit more official, but it's hard to know. Go to commercial break for the injury now.
Yep. Boy, you just wonder what it's like being Russell Wilson right now. I mean, you obviously got to practice like you're going to be the guy eventually one of these days, because is Fields going to last an entire 17-game season? You always wonder this. Same with Jaden Daniels, the smaller mobile quarterbacks. Every time he gets up slow, I'm sure Russ is right there thinking it's his time to come back in, because this is a good football team. If you have good quarterback play, this can be a dangerous team in the AFC. Yeah, there's certainly a lot of weapons, especially,
with any defense, but a defense like this with Pittsburgh, then we've seen a couple, I think the opener, right, against Atlanta, they didn't score a single touchdown. It was just all field goals. So if you got a defense like that, you're in business. That doesn't have to force anything. Just don't turn the ball over, as we say that for a lot of squads, but certainly Pittsburgh. I think Firos, I'm not sure how to say that correctly. I may have said that or butchered it, but a question saying, do y'all know if Nick Chubb is playing next Sunday?
We don't yet.
He practiced.
So he is. I think he is.
But I think surely it'll be like limited, not massive carries or anything like that. But
I agree.
We do have confirmation from Philippe also, though. Twitter is always right.
Hey,
with an LOL.
They're right on a lot of things. A lot of things. Maybe this, maybe not. We'll see.
I think my favorite is the community notes whenever they do it to like the big time guys. Somebody shows up with a community notes. You're like, okay, they got it.
So funny. All right, so they're showing us the replay of looked like, that's a tough ankle roll there at least. So
yeah, that didn't look great.
First and 10 for Pittsburgh from their own 47 as Fields takes a snap, looks right, throws, that's caught. There's George Pickens across the 50. That's a gain of about 7.5 on the right side, right in front of Lewis. And a pretty good opening drive here. A couple plays in for Pittsburgh, down 3-0. 10:24 to go here, 10:32, in the first quarter.
Just another good quick hitter trying to make things simple for Justin Fields. You got the threat of running, so we've seen Baltimore have success with it. If Dallas is going to try to key off of it, then makes things open for the passing game.
Second down and 2 now in a Cowboy territory at the 45. Fields under center. Here's a Najee Harris run. He's hitting the backfield. He's going nowhere, and maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage. Wilson flew in there, lost the helmet, but made the tackle. Be third down and short.
Yeah, it was a good play there from Wilson and also Osa Odigizua. He was almost immediately there to force Harris to try to bounce it outside, was not able to do that. So, as you said, brings up a third down.
Let's get the Cowboy defensive starters there. And, all right, 3rd and 2 on the kind of other side of the 45-yard line in Cowboy territory. Harris motioning out of the backfield. Field's going to be empty now. 3 tight ends on the field to the left side. Fields takes a snap, looking left, throws quick. That's caught. There's a first down. Najee Harris across the 40, still going, and rides a Cowboy with him out of bounds. That's a gain of about 20 on a 3-yard pass, and a nice play there from the former Alabama Crimson Tide on a weekend that his alma mater will want to forget, but a nice play deep into Cowboy territory.
Like that little throw of the shade there, but you're right. It's a very simple route. He just kind of goes out there, breaks the first tackle with Diggs, who's back from the ACL injury, I believe, but breaks that tackle and just actually kind of just carries him for the next 10 yards or so, but first down.
1st and 10 from the Cowboy 30, 8:59 to go here. Opening drive for Pittsburgh on offense. I formation. Here's a play action, looking left, throwing left. That's deep and incomplete. Overthrow the tight end in Washington. And that one was probably not going to be close. Really good coverage there by Dallas, 2nd down.
They're showing Nealon getting on the cart for injury-wise, so it does not look good on that.
This is that big tight end from Georgia, right? In Washington, that kind of other guy behind Brock Bowers that they thought could become a physical freak because he's like 6'7" or something like that. And Fields still overthrew him. That's pretty crazy. 2nd and 10. Fields under center now. Looks going to be a run left side. This is not Najee Harris. I got to see who that is. And that's a game about 2. And looks like Overshown with the tackle. Be 3rd down.
Jonathan Ward, it looks like.
Oh, okay.
I believe undrafted free agent Jonathan Ward.
Yeah. All right. Well, game about 3.
Okay.
Overshown made the tackle there. And so 3rd down.
All right.
3rd and 8. Fields in the gun. Warren, the running back now to his left. This will be a toss to Jalen Warren, left side. Sorry, that's Washington now, and he's going to get about 5 on 3rd and 8, so it'll be 3rd down and short. Wait, who is that as the running? Is it Simpleton? I'm not sure. I'm not familiar. They're going deep to their running back room. They're going to kick a field goal.
Aaron Champlin, as we were all very well aware of Aaron Champlin from Harvard. Harvard. So shout out to Harvard. Everybody knew that one.
Wow, Ivy League in the NFL, huh?
Congrats to him.
All right, so they're going to go for a 41-yard field goal.
I need him to miss
Chris
this.
Bodwell off the left hash. Snap.
And
he got it.
Okay, well.
All right, 3-3.
I don't mind it from the sense of, like Pittsburgh doing well, but that I think just officially made me lose fantasy. So that's.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, because Boswell was the one coming in. I need him to have low scoring, and to start out with a field goal kick here.
Yeah, not good.
It's probably done.
It's not good. There you go.
Oh well.
All right. Well, listen, it is 10 o'clock on the East Coast, and I have a long night of not sleeping ahead of me with no AC. So we are going to sign off on my end. And you keep watching on my channel, by the way.
I hear you.
Josh, I appreciate you just hanging out.
Yeah.
Night Owl Josh, and we'll get ready for our Wednesday link on Wednesday. Show's coming out, and hopefully easy Eagle victory on Sunday. How about that?
Can you do me a favor before you jump off real quick? Because we were so late with the delay and everything else, I'm gonna use the restroom real quick. Can you hold it down for like 2 more minutes? Just so you know, because the buzz. Okay, now I'll be back. I appreciate it.
Go for it. Yep. I need to let me just get my game back on. I had shut the game off. As it works out well. Josh can run to the bathroom. I'll keep hanging on. And 3-3 right now. Let's see. Get the game back on. There we go. Still on commercial break though. So interesting to watch this week too. For those all still hanging out here. Davante Adams trade is probably going to happen this week. That seems to be the guess because he's come back from that hamstring injury. Obviously, there's been a couple of people sniffing around. Philly is not going to be one of them. I know we're all wondering if Philly's going to be one of them, but that will be a domino that will fall. Will it be Pittsburgh? Could it be, the Commanders? Hopefully not. Could it be, I'm trying to think of the other team. The Jets obviously is a name because of Aaron Rodgers. They lost again, so you wonder how much draft capital they want to give up. But I think this is going to be the week of Davante Adams. And if it's not this week, probably next week. He's not going to be a Raider. He's not going to play another down for that just horrible offensive football team up there in Las Vegas. I mean, Aiden O'Connell got a little bit of movement versus that Raider or the Bronco defense, but not a lot. And it did not look good today. And so even if he is healthy from the hamstring, I highly doubt he is going to be playing another down with the Las Vegas Raiders. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if that actually happens. As we are still sitting in a timeout. So they went for the long timeout here, which worked out well overall. And there you go. Josh is back.
Okay.
Josh, I was just saying
Appreciate
that my guess is this week it's going to be maybe Devontae Adams gets moved somewhere. Probably not Philadelphia, but obviously
Oh, yes.
somewhere
yes.
else. This could be the week. We'll keep an eye on that.
Very true. Yes, definitely. Probably the biggest news I would imagine. Certainly pre-trade
Sure.
deadline, but yeah, biggest
Sure.
news for that. So
I think so.
it'll be good. And also, people are mentioning as well that are just checking it out, or maybe first off, Sean with a shout out is for the Eagles game. We live stream naturally for every Eagles game. This was kind of a unique circumstance, but it gets pretty crazy on those. So feel free to tune in for all the Eagles games. We'll be live and stream for. But Thomas, I appreciate it. I know it's very late for you and not as comfortable with the lack of AC, but it was fun.
There you
initially
go.
Here,
we hung out and fought the rain delay together. I thought we'd be talking about the game. We'd be broadcasting the game, hanging out all night.
I did as well, but hopefully all is well with the AC. So
I'll keep you updated.
All
right, I'm signing off. If you're watching on my channel, you can keep watching. Not a problem. Josh will hang out, hold down the fort, and we'll see you guys on my regular scheduled programming tomorrow for an actual Eagle football week. So go Birds, go Steelers tonight as well. Josh, best of luck.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate that.
See you guys.
Go Steelers. There he goes. Let me go ahead and move this one over if I can, because that's a weird angle. There. Perfect. All right. We've got a false start by Dallas. Shout out to everybody else. We still got another, 371, something like that hanging out. This is a late night NFL after dark, I suppose. Feels like Pac-12 action, former Pac-12 action, but gonna hang out as long as we can, I suppose. We got the game going here. I got a few underdog picks in play, so might as well. But a penalty from Tyler Guyton, the Oklahoma tackle for the Cowboys, so that makes it a 1st and 15 from the 25. I need to move that underdog thing here real quick, too. Little dump off there to Turpin, and gets about 5 yards, so it gets the penalty yardage back. Let me move this to the corner there. That probably looks a little more appropriate. All right. So it is a 2nd and 10 after the 5-yard gain. And ball back to where we started, 30-yard line. Second and 11 officially. Dak takes the snap. 4-man pressure over the middle complete. Wow, held on to that. That was, who was that? I couldn't tell who that was. 83. That was, Jalen Brooks. Jalen Brooks with the catch. They're going to hurry up. It's actually officially 3rd and 1. So they're going to run the play quickly. Dak takes the snap, almost sacked, gets it away, and there's like nobody there. That's got to be, he was in the tackle box. That's got to be a penalty. Surely. It's 4th down regardless, but okay, there's a flag. I was going to say, intentional grounding, did not see anybody in the area. I mean, come on. So that'll certainly push it back. Intentional grounding. There you go. 4th and, I'm waiting officially. I think it'd be 4th and 16. All right. Hey, let's go. We got an Eagles chant in there? Heck yeah. EAGLES. And a Go Birds than an F Dallas. It's lit on a late night. So 4th and 11, not 16. 4th and 11. Sean playing against Dak, and in fantasy, this game matters a lot. Okay. I'm sure there's a few that have Dak as they're playing against. Punt from Anger gets it away. It's going to be a fair catch at the 25-yard line. So that's where Pittsburgh will have it. from Calvin Austin. So still in the first quarter. 1st and 10 coming up from Justin Fields. See if they can take the lead. Josh Steele, I appreciate that. We got the melodious tones of Josh. It's like jazz radio and football going late night. Heck yeah, that's what we'll call it. The melodious tones of Josh. Mark saying, man, Henry is a beast. Yeah, he's crazy today. Let's see. Stat-wise, because I shared it beforehand. Got a couple picks in play. I need Fields to be less than 67% completion. And then we got to have something with Rico Dowdle if he can get a little bit of offense going. Really just anything. Let's see here. All right. Sean, yeah, the less than 67% completion screams the house always wins. What a weird bet. That's, yeah. But I got maybe duped into it. We'll see. Hopefully not. All right, we're back from the commercial break. Justin Fields. And speaking of completions, there is a completion to Hayward. Gain of about, 7 yards, I think. And we're hearing the update for Marshawn Nealon. Right knee. That's not good. No weight on the right knee. Questionable, but that does not sound like he's coming back. So we don't wish injuries, but for a team that's had a lot of them already on defense, that's not a good sign for Dallas. Handoff here to Najee Harris. Makes the first man miss. What a juke move there. Oh, my gosh. Picks up the first down. Only a gain of about 4, but for anybody who's either watching that or if you couldn't see that, that was... Who was that on defense there? Amani Araware got juked out of his shoes. And then Linval Joseph with, what was that? Yeah, big hands to the face. Just tack that on. Yes, Sean, every single throw and be like, drop it. Please be incomplete. All right, 1st and 10 for the Eagles, or the Steelers here. So used to doing Eagles games at this point. Fields dropping back to pass, has plenty of time. Deep shot right. It's almost picked off. Wow, intended for Jefferson there. That was underthrown. And nearly picked off. Malik Hooker had it hit him right in the hands, and he had a great chance to pick that one off, but it's incomplete. All right, 2nd and 10, ball on the 41. Let me update this one here to move up. in their own territory. Fields takes the snap and pressured. He fumbles the football. Dallas has it. They picked it up. It's a fumble. Or wait, I think he got it back. Justin Fields just took it right back. Oh my gosh. How did he get that? How did he come away with the football? You got to be kidding me. He literally fumbles it. That's unbelievable. Fumbles the football. Carl Lawson, I mean, it looked like he had it right in his hands. And somehow, wow, Justin Fields gets it back. Okay, well, it's 3rd and 24, but it's still Steelers football. We're going to get a challenge from Mike McCarthy in this situation. I think he's challenging to see if the Cowboys are going to get the football. I don't think that... Yeah, you're not going to see a clear recovery here at all. All right, well, cool. I mean, if you want to just waste a timeout. DeFora, yeah, they're challenged. That's an automatic loss, I suppose. Yeah, that should be a very quick decision. I don't know why he would challenge that one there, but okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just update this because this should be a pretty automatic, but the Cowboys will be down a timeout and it'll be back to the Steelers football. Sean, I'm right there with you. Yeah, McCarthy is a moron. A decent amount of the time. Certainly some of the decisions. People asking about Thomas. Yes, Thomas was headed off to bed. He's dealing with some AC issues, as well as, I mean, obviously a super late night stream, so we were going for quite a while with the weather delay. But shout out to him for hanging out for the initial first quarter action, and I don't blame him because it's a late night already. Miles, I see that comment as well. There you go. But it's obviously still streaming on his channel because, we started together, so. Dixon, I just saw that comment. I don't know what's going on. I don't want my kids watching a Cowboys game. I could appreciate that. Yeah, we'll update you. We'll keep you posted. Anything that you need to be aware of here, you could do that. But also, yes, the comments as far as Giants beating Seattle was ridiculous. Niners losing, just giving the game away to the Cardinals at the end. Oh, unfortunately, Kid to Craze, Alabama lost to Vanderbilt. That is unfortunate for you. Okay, well, as to be expected, that was clearly not overturned. So it's going to be Steeler ball 3rd and 24 from the 28-yard line. Fields takes a snap, rolling out right side, looking deep, and will throw it out of bounds. So it'll be an incomplete pass, 4th and 24, and they will punt. And I love that because it's an incomplete pass. There you go. Waitman is back to punt. He's going to take the snap, gets it away barely. Kind of dangerous there, but he did get it away. It's a short punt, but a good roll there for the Steelers. So it's going to be Dallas ball at their own 24-yard line with 4:41 left in the first quarter. Very late night game in Pittsburgh. All right, we're going to see. What does Dallas do on the offensive side with 3-3? Mark saying, pick Scott. All right, Dak under center now. 1st and 10 for the 24. Takes the snap, handoff, and Dowdle's met immediately. Just a gain of probably a yard. So running game not going anywhere early. That's Elliott on the tackle there. Yes, the Steelers did punt. Yes, so it's Cowboys ball, officially 2nd 8. They gave him 2 yards. Now an end around to Turbin. Met immediately blown up. Nate Herbig with a massive play there. A loss of about 5 or 6 yards. Brings up 3rd down now, so it'll probably be like 3rd and 14. Going nowhere. Yep, 3rd and 14. Dak in the empty set now takes the snap. 4-man pressure. Has a little bit of time. Tries to step up in the pocket. Now throwing deep right. Has a man complete. Oh my gosh, that's a great catch. That's a great throw and a great catch. Ceedee Lamb. 1st down, gain of about 30 yards. Tiptoe. I mean, give him credit, man. Like, hate doing it for Dallas, but that is an insane catch. All the way up to the 47-yard line. Good throw. Good throw, good catch. Good for them. Dang. 2:57 to play in the first quarter. Now Dak in the gun. Takes the snap. Right side, complete. Ceedee Lamb wide open. Going to pick up another 15 yards before he's brought down out of bounds. I don't know what the defense is doing there. They're literally giving him the 1st down and then able to pick up another 5 yards. Yeah, this was one of those that Joey Porter, like they said on the broadcast there, tried to punch it out. Didn't go anywhere. So 1st down allows for broken tackle and some more yardage. Dak now complete to Turpin left side on a screen. He's going to pick up about 7 yards before he's thrown out of bounds. So 2nd and 3. Ball going to be at what I believe the 33 of Pittsburgh. Yeah, DeVore, I have no idea how Lamb caught that last pass, the tiptoe one. Somehow he did. Okay, so officially ball on the 27 of Pittsburgh, so a little bit further, but he's a 2nd and 3. Dak under center, handoff Dowdle, has a little space, right side, now cuts it around the end and gets the 1st down and more up to the 15-yard line, a gain of about 12 yards. And it's a 1st down, which, hey, I did not know that. I knew the running game's not good. That was the longest run that the Cowboys have had all season long. So a 12-yard carry. Longest one for Dallas there. Rico Dowdle up to the 15. 1st and 10. Dak in the gun. Now Dowdle to his right. Ceedee in motion to the far side right. Dak barking out signals. 5 on the play clock. Gets the snap off. Fake handoff. Left side screen. It's complete for Tolbert and gets only about 3 or 4 yards before he's tripped up by Jackson. So 2nd down and probably about 6. 2nd and 6. Here we go. Dak with a snap, handoff Dowdle, and wrapped up immediately. There you go. There's a good play from TJ Watt, who blows that one up. It's a gain of, I believe, nothing. Maybe a yard. Maybe. It's 3rd down, though. So 3rd and, let's see, they're going to give it 3rd and, well, waiting for it to update. 3rd down and 6 officially. Yeah, so no yard there. There's 15 seconds left in the first quarter. We'll see if Dallas runs a play or if they're going to just wait till the second quarter. Dak in the gun. He will. He'll take the snap. He's looking left, pressured from Watt. He's going to get sacked. He loses the football, and the Steelers have it. The Steelers have it. It's recovered there by, who was that? TJ Watt with the strip sack. And, man, that's a bad, yeah, Nick Herbert. That's who it was. Recovered it there. It might have split the sack on that one, but for everyone playing against Dak Prescott, there's your turnover. And that'll end the first quarter. So 3-3 Steelers football. Melly J said, let's go. What a play. How good is TJ Watt? Yeah, Matt, see, Watt is nuts. Watt's insane. I mean, I thought it was going to be a holding call before he even got there, but yeah, it's just unblockable. Sean saying, yeah, -4 points for Dak. There is a chance. It's not impossible. There's a fumble loss for Dak. Is it negative? What league are you in, though, for it being -4? Is it -4 for fumbles? It's usually not for mine, but I mean, I know everybody's a little bit different. Michael, you may be right. Yeah, it might have been Herbig who knocked the football out. Really close, though. Him and Watt were right there. Hunter, sure. Yeah, love to have Watt on the Eagles. Love to have some sort of pass rusher there. CMV Eagles, what's up? Delayed good evening. Didn't know we were streaming. Yeah, figured it's a bye week. What the heck? Primetime game for an NFC East rival, so we might as well hang out and stream, but didn't expect it to be this late. I will say that. Okay, Sean, that makes more sense. I was going to say, like, fantasy-wise, why is it -4 points for a fumble? But, okay. Yahoo Fantasy Customized Scoring Dynasty League. Let's go. Don't hate it. All right. Well, we got a barn burner game in a 3-3 matchup into the first quarter. So let me swap this over to the second quarter now. Shout out to the 276 between the two channels. If you're hanging out, feel free to hit the like button. Sub if you haven't already. But CMV says, this might sound like betrayal, but I was rooting for the Giants today. Give them a worse draft pick. All right, I feel you. I could see that. Not totally against that one. All right, ball officially on the 20-yard line. So Steelers in their territory. Start of the second quarter. Justin Fields under center. It's handoff. And that's, I believe, Ward, who's going to pick up about 6 yards there. So it brings up a 2nd and 4. Ball at the 26-yard line. And there's a flag here before the next play. I think that was Darnell Washington who flinched. So probably backs it up 5 yards. Yep. Okay, so 2nd and 8 officially. Eagle09, my bet was over under 1.5 interceptions, not turnovers. Dak lock in, you're selling me. You should have gone turnovers. I guess it'd probably be a better payout, though, with 1.5. But would be looking pretty, though, right now if you talk about turnovers. Justin Fields now in the gun, takes a snap, 2nd and 8. Over the middle, complete. Darnell Washington makes the catch. He's able to hold on to it. Gain of about 4 yards or so. The Cowboys are acting like that was picked off or ripped from him before he went down by Overshown. I don't think the refs are going to... I mean, he kind of hit the ground before he even tried to rip it away. I don't think they're going to do anything about that. All right, so 3rd and 3. Yeah, they're not ruling that against it. Frank from Philly. Yeah, this is going to be a wild game tonight. I guess so. It's looking like it. Strange occurrences so far. 3rd and 3. Justin Fields in the gun. Another guy looked like he moved here on the line, and I think they did. Look at that. Ball start. Number 35. That's Ward. So they pick up 5 yards. They get a 5-yard penalty. They pick up another 5 yards. They get another 5-yard penalty. So we're looking at a 3rd and 8. Albert, see your comment. What's the status of the field? Was rain a factor in how they're playing? I don't know. It's hard to say. It seems like it's decent. I haven't seen guys slipping too much. Feels like it I don't know, dried out fairly quickly, but so far decent. 3rd and 8. Fields takes the snap. Little pressure coming. Going to try to take off and run. He's going to be sacked for a loss of 2 yards. Brings up a 4th and 10. And that was also Adigizua with a sack. So 4th down. Oh, Sean, thank you. Yes, the completion percentage update is at 50%. We'll take that. Punt is away, by the way, for the Steelers, and fair catch by Turpin at the about the 34-yard line. So it'll be 1st down for the Cowboys. Good old 3-3. CMV, yeah, did I catch any other games today? Curious what you decided to watch. Probably Browns Commanders. I did. I watched Browns Commanders because, within the division, but also, I think I shared this earlier, but I had some extra rooting interest as well. But hit on a pretty good parlay. Let's see. I think I can. Let's see. I'll do that one. There we go. Yeah, hit on a pretty good parlay earlier. Got the 150 to win 1104. So I was kind of flipping back and forth just to, it's a strange one. I get that, but I felt like there was a lot of value within kickers. So shout out to Underdog, the official sponsor of the channel. Little subtle, not so subtle plug, but still, those were the games that I was watching. Miami kicking some field goals. Dustin Hopkins kicking some field goals every once in a while as the Commanders just cruise to victory. And then, Red Zone. I think everybody probably does the same thing. You just hang out, watch Red Zone. You get a good idea of what's going on around the league. So, Sean, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's... I've been known to make some insane bets. We'll say that. I had to throw in a golf pick, too, because you guys know I'm a golf addict, so I had to throw something in there. But get the dub. Shout out to my guy Jordan as well for the picks and analysis there. Not ever too bad, obviously, if you can win one of those. I don't mind it. I would take it. Just a little, 10 times or almost 10 times the money. No way, Sean. Where do you work? You're a golf addict. That is where I work. Where and what? All right, we're back to the game though. As you're answering that, it's going to be handoff to Zeke Elliott. Left side has a little bit of space, but his speed is no longer what it once was. So he'll gain about 3 yards, maybe 4. Brings up a second and 7-ish. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Ball on the 38. Dak takes the snap, looking right side, little swing pass there to Turpin. Looks like a face mask, and flag comes in. So that's going to be, it was a gain of about 5, but he's going to pick up another 15 on top of that. So we're looking at ball into Pittsburgh territory at this point. No way, Sean. Golf course in New York is a general manager. Let's go. Heck yeah. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Bethpage twice a year for only 60. Oh my gosh. That's unreal. Okay. Well, I mean, it's definitely on the bucket list, but for only 60, that's insane. Okay, Dallas with the ball now, though. 1st and 10, like I said, into Steelers territory. Dak going to be fake handoff. Now toss to Ceedee Lamb. Has a little bit of blockers, but the Steelers read that really well. Only a gain of about a yard up to the Pittsburgh 40-yard line. So it'll bring up about a 2nd and 9. Young Santa, guess Ferguson doesn't exist. What's up with a lot of the tight ends? I mean, you could say that about several guys, but Mark Andrews, I think he had his first catch since like week 2 today. Ended up having an okay game, I guess, but still. All right, Dak with a snap here. Going right side, and as we say it, it's Ferguson wide open, has a blocker up to the 20, the 15, and brought down at the 14-yard line. So, Young, that's all we needed to say. Just call out Jake Ferguson. Hadn't seen him at all. For those that needed him to do something. Don't just love seeing it, but Steelers, I mean, almost completely busted there. I don't know how he's that wide open and nobody even keying off of him, but you pick up a good 20, 25 yards. Yeah, CMV's just crediting you. You had to say it. You jinxed it is what it is. It's officially the ball on the 13-yard line. 1st and 10, Dak handoff to Zeke Elliott, and there's nowhere going. Met in the middle immediately. Stopped for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. I mean, let's be honest. Like, Zeke is totally washed. Good play made by the Steelers defense for sure, but still, like, Zeke is just he's so done. Matt, you're right. It was the commentator curse combined with Young's comment. So 2nd and 11, ball on the 14-yard line of Pittsburgh. Dak takes the snap, looking left side, pressured now, going to have to get it away. He throws it to the sideline, incomplete, brings up a 3rd and 11. Zach, yeah, there's just arrived. Where's Mr. Mott? Mott had to go to either go to sleep or work with the AC stuff, or I believe it's going to bed. So he's not as much of a night owl naturally with the rain delay. It was understandable to just go ahead and say, all right, let's call it what it is. But figure we hang out for a little bit more, stream the game so far. I got some picks in play, so a little bit of a vested rooting interest, but That's where we're at. Sean said I called it earlier. Josh going to be streaming until 1 a.m. Hopefully not. We'll see how long we go here. It's I believe an injury timeout, I think. It's going to be 3rd and 11, ball on the 14-yard line. Dallas ball on the 14-yard line. So here's my problem. I've got a bet in play of a CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown, and I know I shouldn't have. Like, that's my bad. But it wouldn't be the worst thing if he were to score that and they still lose the game. I know I probably should not have made that pick, but it felt like something that with this offense, he gets very much involved. But blame me if it happens. That's fine. If it actually does come to fruition, just go ahead and blame me. Sean, I saw your comment, I think, earlier and forgot to mention it. But yeah, playing Bethpage once, and you have a really respect for the pros. I can only imagine. I mean, just seeing pictures and looking at some of that stuff, like there's no way. As also, Sean, you're going to kick me in the shins if that does happen. So, okay. CMV money over Eagles loyalty, Josh, we understand. I was just trying to go that. Come on, Ray. Squat saying Guyton may be a bust. It's early. It's not. There's issues. There's areas, but much like we would say about some of our guys too. I try to maybe temper expectations a little bit with rookies. That's actually true. I forgot about that. Yeah, I had some Washington players last year. Felt like fantasy-wise, I just kind of kept jinxing it, but who knows? 3rd and 11 here. CeeDee Lamb in motion. Out to the far side left, Dak in the gun. There is a false start. Before that happens, there's a false start on the right tackle. As Terrence Steele with the 5-yard penalty, so makes it just a little bit more difficult. Back it up. 3rd and 16. All right, so we'll try this again. 3rd and 16 now. Ball at the 19. Handoff. And that's Lepke going, 3 yards, maybe 4 yards. Tackle by T.J. Watt. So 4th down. And about 4th and 12. And I was going to bring up a field goal attempt. There's the snap is good, the hold is good, and it is good from Brandon Aubrey. So the Cowboys take the lead back. There you go. Just a good old high scoring, lots of field goals. Yeah, Sean, it might be. I don't think it's just you. I was going to say. Seems like Steelers football. Hunter, I hope somebody bet the under on this game. Oh man, Tyler Guyton now also, as we were talking about previously, but he is gingerly walking off the field. So have several injuries, but another one. Kickoff is back, and it'll be a touchback. So ball on the 30-yard line for the Steelers. Squats Garden overlays are actually pretty cool. Got to give some credit for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's actually shout out to my wife. She is got a lot more talent than I do for the motion graphics and overlays and everything else. As Najee Harris gets the carry, he's going to be right side and trying to go around for about 4 yards before he's brought down. So 2nd and 6. Ball up to the 34-yard line of the Steelers. Ray's going with a final score prediction of 12-15. Whew. I don't know what the total was, but handoff, Najee Harris right side, and a big hole, first down. Or he's tackled down by Wilson. And a gain of 6. All right, ball on the 40-yard line. Justin Fields under center. 1st and 10. Be another handoff. Najee Harris, and you're going to try to just push his way forward for a gain of about 3. Brings up a 2nd and 7. So nothing flashy. Just try to run it against one of the worst run defenses in the NFL. Also, as we hear on the broadcast, Russell Wilson apparently, I guess, is starting to ramp it up with a calf injury, so should be good to go next week. Although I don't exactly know what that means from, Justin Fields and what he's doing so far. But all right, Fields takes the snap. He's going to take off and run right side. Has a lead blocker and almost gets the first down, probably a gain of about 5. So brings up a 3rd and 1. See where the Steelers go with this. 6:34 to play in the second quarter. Now Fields under center. Got 1 yard to go, 3rd and 1. Going to take the snap, fake handoff, rolling right side. He's going to try to run for it, and man, he takes a shot. I don't think he got it either, but he ran right into a couple Dallas defenders. Good gosh, that was Chauncey Golston, who's just waiting for him right at the sticks. I mean, this is Justin Fields. I know he's trying to get it, but man, lowers the shoulder, takes a shot from Golston, and couldn't tell who else that was, but it's going to be short by about a half a yard. Golly, that's just, he's okay. I mean, he's still in there, I guess, but it's a 4th and inches now. See what they try to run. Fields is under center here. It is a 4th and inches. Fields trying to get the Cowboys to jump. He doesn't. Now takes the snap, push forward. It's going to be a first down. Little mini version of a tush push, I suppose. But a first down, and the Steelers drive remains alive. Shout out to Isaac Sayamalu for a great block. Former Eagles player there. All right, now Fields going to be handoff to Najee Harris and going to just keep motoring forward behind the offensive line, keeping the legs churning, gaining about another 6 yards or so. So 2nd and 4, maybe a 2nd and 3. All right, 2nd and 4, Fields under center. Takes a snap, handoff Harris, met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Also about 1 or 2, Wheat with the tackle. And again, as we were saying, the not super, not super creative or explosive offensive game so far, but it's kind of a consistent theme. And going to bring up a 3rd and 5. See what Pittsburgh can do here. All right, 3rd and 5. Now Fields in the gun. He's got Ward to his right. Takes a snap, looking left, has some time. Fields is going to roll left and throwing a deep shot left. It's dangerous and it's incomplete. That was intended for Pickens, but he had a man on him with safety help there as well. So 4th and 5. And it's an incompletion. So we do appreciate that. All right, so the Steelers looks like they're going to punt here. And there is a flag on the play. Probably another false start. It is. Steelers continue to do. I think that's the 3rd one tonight as far as false starts go. But 93. Back them up 5 yards. Not a really big difference. Honestly, it might help them because it gives them more room for the punt game. But 4th and 10. And the snap and punt is away. It's a high punt. Going to be fair caught at the 14-yard line for Turpin. So that is where Dallas will have it. 1st and 10. Dallas leading 6-3. And 3 minutes remaining. 3:05 remaining in the second quarter. Sean, yes, the 44% is looking good. That's the good part. We got to have, again, this is the difficulty of like rooting for specific parts, but not bad though. I'll take the 44% so far. I need a couple others. I need the Rico Dowdle is 4 carries for 15 yards. I mean, we don't have the fantasy points. Let's just say that so far. Still time. Joseph, you need Harris to get 60 rushing yards. Well, he's got 27. Feels like he has more than that, but I don't know. He's at, I guess, felt like he had more production as far as what the yardage was, but 27 rushing yards. Feels like he could get that. Ray, Sunday night in Pittsburgh. Oh, yes, Sean, I missed that comment. Absolutely. Yeah, I have to take the wife out for a steak dinner after these wins for sure. I mean, the way they're going, no question. Shout out to the 247, still hanging out on a super late night stream. If you're wondering why Thomas is not here, he is asleep, I would imagine, at this point. But we're still streaming on his channel and my channel. So appreciate all you guys hanging out. Feel free to hit the like button. We're at 272 right now. Hit the sub button as well, if you haven't. It's much appreciated. On the road to almost, let's see, I'm almost at 77, I believe. We're getting there. We're getting close. Josh Lee, you need the CeeDee Lamb first half touchdown. Is it happening? Man, you're I kind of need a touchdown for him as well. It feels odd to say that I'm rooting for the Cowboys in that situation. It's not happened yet, obviously. This is your chance. I mean, 3:05, you're going to have the Cowboys trying to go down the field. They have 2 timeouts. There's more than enough time for them to do it, and they will be throwing the football. But I'd also imagine the Steelers are going to try to key off of that as Dak takes the snap rolling right. Going to be a toss to, very short toss to Jake Ferguson, but he'll make the catch. Gain of about 6 or 7 yards. So we'll see. This is the moment for CeeDee Lamb if he's going to. Steelers defense has been good so far tonight, though. Second and about 4. CMV, you need 20 points from Fields. Yeah, not impossible, but yeah, you're saying, can he have a 80-yard touchdown run? That would certainly help you. All right, ball on the 21 officially, and it's going to be a drop back pass from Dak. Going to try to roll right side now, and it'll be thrown incomplete right at the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up a 3rd and 4. 2:25 to play in the second quarter. Dak has not had much time. We'll say that. Most of the time that he's dropping back. The Steelers' pass rush is getting back there pretty quickly. Shout out to Cameron Hayward for... man, he's 35. I forgot about it. I knew he was older, but 35. Still doing it like one of the best of them, but creating pressure on that play. 3rd and 4. Dak with 5 seconds on the play clock. Going to get the snap away. 4-man pressure. Has a little bit of time. He's going to throw left. He's got a man wide open. Completely the 50 up to the 40. The 35-yard line. Jalen Tolbert is finally pushed out of bounds. It's a huge play there. And well into Pittsburgh territory. Well, there you go. Just like that. We've not seen very many explosive plays. A blown coverage there. And Jalen Tolbert just sneaks past the cornerback. Minka Fitzpatrick slow to rotate over. And now Dallas has the ball. The 2-minute warning has hit here too. So we're at the 2-minute mark, 1st and 10. And ball is at the, I believe, 35-yard line of Pittsburgh. Dallas with the ball. Mary, who do I think will win? I said it before. It might be cheating if you didn't hear, but I given the score and the situation, but I feel like Dallas probably. I don't want them to really, but I feel like realistically that they were going to win a close one. I guess we'll see. They are marching here. It feels like if they were to get a score at this situation, then naturally they'd be sitting in a better position because, I mean, heck, if it's like 13-3 to go into halftime, would not be the best spot for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh will get the ball to start the second half. So, I don't know. Dak with 177 yards passing tonight, 13 for 17. He's been sacked once, but a lot more pressure than that. Still able to be pretty productive. You got to give some credit. 4 catches for CeeDee Lamb, 53 yards. Jalen Tolbert, 2 for 52, and Jake Ferguson, 2 for 33. I mean, ultimately, outside of the fumble that was lost by Dak Prescott, like Dallas has, you got to give him credit. Dallas has looked like the better team and been more efficient. But Steelers defense, able to make a couple stops whenever they need to, get some pressures. Squats Garden, yes. Niners and Cowgirls lose would be a good weekend if you ask me. It absolutely would. It'd be a great way to end that one. I think we would all take that. Or the vast majority. Got to see Justin Fields wake up and do something, though. 4 for 9, 35 yards. Taken 2 sacks already, 5 carries, 20 yards. Kind of bottled up from that standpoint, too. Mario, only if the Birds' defense looks like that. Yeah, but maybe they could turn it around. We'll see. Supreme Rich, yo, what's up? Supreme, no, I do not. Thankfully, I don't have a 9 to 5. If I had a 9 to 5, I would be not hanging out on the stream. Kind of like some freelance stuff, you know? All right. 1st and 10 after the 2-minute warning. Handoff Dowdle. Breaks a tackle and going to gain about 5 yards there. So brings up a 2nd and 5 at the 30. Dallas, I believe, still has 2 timeouts. They're going to hurry up here. Going to be a screen pass to Dowdle. Catches the pass and brought down. Good tackle there from Hayden Wilson. 1st down, though. 1:30 to play. Clock is ticking, but they do have 2 timeouts. So, ball at the 25-yard line now. I'm sorry, ball at the 21-yard line, not the 25, 21-yard line. Dak takes the snap, right side, complete to Ferguson. Man slips and able to pick up another about 5-yard gain. So the ball is at the 15-yard line. Dallas is still not calling any timeouts. They do have 2 remaining. There's a minute left, and the clock is ticking. So Dallas is going to hurry up and run another play. Dak takes the snap, has a little bit of time, throwing left side. It's picked off. He threw it for Ceedee Lamb. It is picked off. And there's your interception. So I forgot who it was. Was it Ray? I can't remember who it was saying they needed the interceptions. But there's one. There's one pick by Dak Prescott. And he looked like he kind of telegraphed it. Good play made there from Dante Jackson with the interception. And just steps right in front of Ceedee Lamb. I mean, he was targeting Ceedee Lamb. I don't know what he necessarily saw. It's hard to tell from that angle they showed us. But yeah, Dante Jackson just stepped right in. Sean, the football gods love you. I guess it's what, -5 for you, or 4? -4 for you? Well, there you go. Another turnover. Look at that. And people were thinking that Dak was going to score or that Ceedee Lamb was going to get a touchdown. Who would have thought such a thing? Josh, I apologize, man. I know there goes your parlay. That would have potentially been it. He was throwing right to him. You could tell you wanted it. Hunter, I do not. I don't do any other kind of journalism now. I used to. Fancy Catman, the T-Man is sleeping. Mott, interception by Dak. Yes, let's go. Everybody, interception. Actually, I forgot to play this. Where is that? There we go. Let's see. Did that one play? Maybe not. Doesn't look like the interception one is playing for me for some reason. That one will play. The timeout will. Huh. Get the sack. Interesting. I get the other ones to play. The interception one's not working for me, but usually there's a graphic for that. All right, well, it'd be a 1st and 10 ball on like the 2-yard line for 98 yards to go for the Steelers. 51 seconds to play, 3 timeouts left for Pittsburgh. There probably would be, I mean, I got to imagine they're going to be kind of careful with that one, but Jarky's saying $240 million bum quarterback. Yes, that's true. Mario, the stat line for Dak: 1 interception, 1 fumble loss, 1 sack. 15 for 20, 188, 9.4 average. I mean, yardage-wise was okay, but yeah, you got some turnovers thrown in there. That was not a good decision at all. I would love to see the extra angle if maybe they come back and can show us what he might have seen, because it was kind of hard to tell. Definitely not a good throw. Let's see. Okay, yeah, they're going to show it. Yeah, Chris Collinsworth saying major mistake by Dak Prescott. Looking back there, yeah, I don't know what he's doing. You could clearly see that Dante Jackson was going to be back there, and I mean, it doesn't get easier than that as far as a pick. So Ceedee's shaking his head. I don't know who that was on, but definitely a mistake. All right, handoff here on the run. And Champlin gets met at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a yard, but I don't believe so. So the clock is actually Dallas is taking a timeout. So you get a timeout there. And it's 48 seconds left in the first half. Officially 2nd and 9. Hunter, this is going well. Steelers D. Eagle 9. That's who it was. Okay, I couldn't remember who that was, but you just need one more interception. Dak could do it. There's plenty of game left. You got the defense to possibly do it. 2nd and 9 now. Justin Fields under center. He's going to take the snap and another handoff, this time to Champlin. He'll get about 3 yards and 45 seconds left to play, so Dallas is going to call another timeout. That's their last timeout of the half. So you would imagine at this point, being backed up, the Steelers are going to run one more play. If they can run enough clock off, then you probably just go into halftime. All right, 45 seconds to play in the first half. 3rd and 6 officially. Fields, handoff to Champlin again. He's tackled short, and it's going to be at the 11-yard line, and that should do it. Because, yeah, there's not enough time remaining on the play clock. Or there's enough time remaining on play clock. So that'll do it for the first half. Dallas is going to be lead 6-3. So if you had that as far as your parlay or any action there, congrats to you. I don't think that most people did, but some miscues from Dak Prescott and turnovers leads us to halftime 6-3. Joseph, I don't know why necessarily they didn't run Najee Harris. I'm not really sure. Also, for the question as far as Jaylen Warren, yeah, I believe he's hurt and out. So he was ruled out beforehand. CMV, no disrespect to the Cowboys from Tomlin. Oh, you got to love that. Shinobi says, I need Boswell to score one more field goal. See, I don't, unfortunately. I apologize. I know that you said you need that, but. Well, there you go. Going into halftime, 6-3. I need more out of Dowdle there. Taking him 1 catch, 5 yards, 5 carries for 20. A little bit further. CMV, yeah, by the official quote for Tomlin was, right now it's just kicking our own butt. No disrespect to the Cowboys, but it's just us. So that's officially all that is. But yeah, Steelers offense, not good. What is that? Justin Fields, 4 for 9, 35 yards. That's it. 35 yards in the first half. 4 for 9, 35 yards. Najee Harris, 8 carries, 27 yards. Justin Fields, 4 for 20. 4 for 14 for Champlin. I mean, it's just not going to cut it. It's just, averaging 3.9 yards per play, I believe, for Pittsburgh. Not good. virtual god here with the why is everyone in the division winning today? I don't know. It's not what you like to see. For maybe a loss. Just one. It'd be Dallas. That'd be great. All right. Doug, you say your friend Jamar, your friend had Jamar still lost. Looks like our first half stats. Yeah, Jamar went off. I mean, there's several guys that did, but yeah, to have that, you have to be. What did he end with, by the way? Let's see. It's 10 for 193 and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's good. Gosh, what a game. But yes, you're right. The Steelers' offense looked like so did the Jets' offense, at least for most of the game. CMV going back to the comment for Jaden Daniels, like we were saying. Yeah, the only main threat. It feels like, anyway, from what we've seen. Early returns from the division. Congrats to the Giants for winning, but yeah, they don't necessarily scare me, even with the Seattle one. Mario Burrow's game saved you from the wrath of Mooney. That's good. Good for you. I'm happy for you. It didn't do that for me. I was playing somebody, I think I mentioned earlier, who had Darnell Mooney, Kirk Cousins, and I think it's Drake London, if I'm not mistaken. They had 3 guys. I think it was Drake London. So, not great. Didn't really matter at that point what any of my guys did, really. Let's see. Supreme Rich, what do I think about the 49ers? They're kind of very interesting. Like, I thought, okay, hey, they're going to win the game. They were up 23, I think 23-10, if I'm not mistaken, at one point before the Cardinals came back with the 2 scores. So I thought they were fine. But then, yeah, you start seeing some issues, and they've just been leaky, I guess, is the decent way to describe it. It feels like they've had a couple games where they may start out okay, and then they're just not able to keep it up. So, yeah, I think it's definitely not as intimidating or scary of a force as what maybe some people would have expected. Curious with what's going on with Christian McCaffrey. But I think it's proof that there's a lot of teams that are not firing on all cylinders, and also a lot of teams that are not completely proven. Andrew saying, yeah, 49ers are bad, but I fell asleep. Also, would love the Cowboys to lose, but really worried about the Commanders. Yeah, Commanders do look solid. I don't know. I'm not saying the Niners couldn't be a challenge, and I would still expect them to probably make the playoffs. But yeah, they don't seem to be the same type of juggernaut that we've seen in previous seasons. Still, with it being early. Let's see. Fancy Catman, the Cowboys front doesn't scare me or don't scare me. Or, the Cowboys as a whole. Sorry, I thought it was the Cowboys front. The Cowboys don't scare me. I don't know why they would or should for most people. So, it's honestly, do we beat ourselves? If the Eagles play up to the standard, if they play to the certain level that they should be, yeah, Dallas is not a team that you would go in and go, wow, yeah, that's one of those that we should be concerned about, that we're going to have major issues. Now, yeah, rival teams get up a little bit to play certain rivals, so it could be close, but they're not a team that you look at and say, oh my gosh, this is just ridiculous. a little creepy. How does Chris Sims have a job? Yeah, I have no idea. I was getting sidetracked hearing his analysis there on a couple of those. Like, you got to be kidding me. But that's who he is. That's standard takes from. Has a lot of those. And Supreme, you're right. Yeah, Dan Snyder was absolutely the burden for the Commanders. I think we all knew that, or at least vast majority were expecting that. But yeah, the fact that he's gone looks better. Definitely looks better for him. Snoop Dogg with a little halftime interview here with Mike Tirico. Snoop interview with how he started with the Steelers fandom. All right. Feels like should be soon. Just listen to this Snoop interview, but should be coming back from the second half. One more commercial break, 6-3. Probably end up watching like the first couple series. I may not hang on for this whole thing just because it's been a little slow to say the least. We'll just call it that. But we'll see. We'll see how far we can make it. Supreme Rich, curious to see how Sirianni goes about coming out of the bye. Yeah, that's all of us. I think everybody's in the same boat, wondering how Sirianni, how the Eagles as a whole, getting some of the playmakers back. I'm really hoping, and I don't know, I don't want to be just like, I don't know, unknowingly believing in this, but I'm really hoping that the Eagles can come back and, I don't know, we just see a different fire from the team coming out of this bye week. But it's what everybody's curious about. What team do we see? Which team shows up? Home game versus the Browns. Could be Jameis Winston. Could still be Deshaun Watson. Hoping for it to be Deshaun Watson from what we've seen, but you might get a different quarterback. Yeah, the team definitely needs to show up though. Patrick saying I'll take Jordan Davis over Mozzie Smith. Yeah, I mean, I might not be saying too much, but sure. Hunter, that's true. Under normal circumstances, this game would be ending right about now. Ethan, have hope will be good again. That's because we were bad because of the injuries. It's fair. It's understandable. Injuries did certainly play a factor. Cool Rains, what's up? How's it going? Just hanging out with a little late night stream for the NFC East Dallas game. Why not, you know? I know. It is weird. It's weird seeing us do two different teams. We figured, primetime, didn't expect for the the rain delay, the weather delay like this. So I figured we'd do a primetime game because most likely certainly once we get into the playoffs, we'll do more streams, more hangouts, stuff like that. But nonetheless, with it being a bye week, kind of made some sense. There wasn't any Eagles action, so figured we hop on here. But this thing is slowed to a crawl with the delay and the boring action because there's not much going on. It needed 2 field goals from Dallas, a field goal from the Steelers, Dak turning the ball over a couple times. But yeah, not a super exciting one so far. Virtual, that's a good point. If we end up being the only NFC East team that loses to the Browns, then all hope has lost, left me. Rex, dang, you had a really good week. Dropped 180 even with A-Chain on your team. Mario, predictions for the Saints-Chiefs game. I don't know. Feels like the Chiefs will probably win it because they continue to, but probably win by like a field goal. I'll go with like a Chiefs win with a field goal. There you go. Dak with 2 turnovers in the red zone. That's second game in his career as they're showing that. So, yeah, Supreme. I think everybody's on board. If you lose to the Browns, that's signaling. I don't know. Way too many internal issues. All right, let's see how this goes here as we're back from halftime. The Cowboys will kick it off. We'll go for probably at least, a drive for each team, and then we'll see at that point because it's obviously late for most people. Or early, I suppose, depending on where you're at. Kickoff is away, and it is caught by the Steelers here for the return up to the 25, and then brought down in Champlin at the 27-yard line. So that's where the Steelers will get the ball, their first possession of the second half. Andrew, appreciate the question. Yeah, how are the fantasy leagues going so far? How's my team? My team's okay. A couple of them, I think I'm 2-2, probably about to be 2-3. It's not the best. The individual picks are doing a lot better. So shout out to Underdog, the official sponsor of the channel. But really, really well today is now Justin Fields is going to try to throw it, escapes the first man, breaks another tackle, now going to cut back left, takes a big shot as he throws it out of bounds. I think there's going to be a flag for a hit on Fields. Man, he gets up, though. Gee, Tyrus Wheat with a vicious shot on Fields as he got the ball away. And it's going to be 15 yards. I mean, he lit him up. Good gosh. Yeah, his helmet to the chin. Oh, my gosh. Fields has taken like 2 or 3 of these shots tonight. Gonna get the call. Okay, it is 15 yards. All right, so there's, 15-yard penalty. Justin Fields has to come out of the game now because of the shot that he took. It looks like they're saying medical needs to take a look, and that's not surprising because he absolutely got lit up. So, Kyle Allen, I believe, is going to be the guy that's going to come back. So we'll see who's coming in. Good gosh. I mean, he got just a terrible shot. I guess Fields is okay. I thought he had to come out, but so far we're seeing that he's staying in there. I guess he's fine. I thought he was going to have to come out, but he appears to be all right. So no medical timeout. Justin Fields appears to be okay after that, and actually, wait, now this is so weird. Okay, now they are taking him out, but they broke the huddle, and then they have Kyle Allen that's getting back onto the field. They're taking Justin Fields under the medical tent now. This is so weird. Why are we? This game is going on way too long. Why are we prolonging this even more? It makes no sense. There's zero sense to this. I mean, I appreciate like health and safety, but like they took way too long for trying to establish what they're actually doing. Finally, the Steelers breaking the huddle now, and Allen is under center. Takes the snap here. It's going to be handoff, and Najee Harris stumbles forward, but a gain of about 4 yards. So 2nd and 6 after all that hoopla, we get a 4-yard run. Okay. Andrew, I don't know. What is this game? This game is so strange, so odd. Lots of randomness going on. Okay, well, after the penalty and the 4-yard carry, and Kyle Allen is still there, ball at the 48 of Pittsburgh. Kyle Allen in the shotgun takes the snap, blitz coming over the middle, throws complete to Freiermuth there, and it's a first down up into Dallas territory, the 34, or excuse me, 34, and that's going to be where they'll have it. So that's a gain of about 20 yards, as Justin Fields apparently has passed the concussion protocol check in the tent. He's back out there. So a very quick change, but a first down now into Dallas territory. All right, so Fields is back in. See if Pittsburgh can capitalize here. Takes the snap over the middle, complete. Gain of about 8 yards, 7 or 8 yards, so 2nd and 3. Ball up to about the 26-yard line now of Dallas. Now going to go tempo here. Fields takes the snap over the middle again. It is complete, and that's by Jefferson. That one's up to the 14-yard line. So into the red zone now, 1st and 10. And best drive, I'd say, for the entire night for Pittsburgh. Sean, yeah, it would have guaranteed if Fields had stayed out, but unfortunately not. He's made a couple completions now, complete to Freiermuth, as it's a short, actually a loss. So I think that's a gain of, or a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. All right, 2nd and 11. Justin Fields now in the pistol. 5 on the play clock, 11:57 to play in the third quarter. Fields takes the snap, a little bit of pressure left side, throws it complete, and he's got a touchdown. There you go. Who's that? Hayward. Touchdown, Steelers. Good completion, Connor Hayward, and the Steelers now have the lead. All right. Took long enough, but finally. Got a 9-6 ball game. Good for them. All right, and now the extra point pending from Boswell, and the kick is up, and ooh, did he get it? Ooh, he did. That was a slice off the tee, or a late slice, kind of like my drives there, but he hooked it up inside the upright, so that's good. And a 10-6 ball game. Pittsburgh leads. It looked like he missed it, but he actually barely snuck it inside. All right, well. After not a whole lot, you finally get some offense from Justin Fields and the Steelers. Now they've got the lead. What does Dak come back out there and do? Justin Fields has increased his accuracy up to 62%. I don't like seeing that. He's still below the 67%, but he's closer now. All right, reset the scoreboard here real quick. Also, good news for Justin Fields injury-wise. Again, don't want to see injuries for anybody, but after taking that shot from Wheat, I thought he might be out. Like that did not look good. Hunter right here says Dak's going to definitely throw another interception. He might. Been turnover prone so far, 2 already. Both of them in the red zone also, which is kind of surprising to see, but wouldn't mind that. Wouldn't be too bad. Shout out to the 212 between both channels, still hanging out on a super late night, 11:30, past 11:30 on the East Coast. But, tried something new, a little streaming of some just primetime game, not obviously Eagles game, but cool to have you guys hanging out. Sanchez, yeah, that shot gave you PTSD to the Smitty hit. I hear you. That was, definitely one of those that you think about what happened to Smitty. A little bit different angle, but yeah, just the teeing off part, for sure. All right, back from commercial break, so we're going to see kickoff here first. And where's Dallas going to start with it? That is looking like a touchback, and it will be. So 30-yard line, that's where Dak and company will come out after the interception from Dak, where he telegraphed it to Ceedee Lamb, made it very, very blatantly obvious previously, but, don't mind seeing that. All right, 1st and 10, ball on the 30-yard line. Dak under center. Zeke in the game, takes a snap, a 3-step drop, gets it away to Tolbert there, and will have a first down up to the 40-yard line. So quick throw, taking advantage of the defense pressure. And Dallas just like that, first down of the second half. Yeah, Looney Tunes Ceedee was not happy after that interception. I don't know whose fault that was, but he did not look happy and said something to Dak that did not get a response. We'll see if he keeps going to him. I would imagine he still will. Jake Ferguson, the intended target on this first down pass, and no flag. Looked all right. Let's say looked like maybe a little bit physical on Fitzpatrick there, but no penalty. 2nd and 10. Yeah, kind of let him get away with one, but I won't complain. 2nd and 10 here. It's going to be a handoff to Zeke, who just stumbles forward. He does pick up about 4 yards, but there's not much left in his game, as we've seen and said. 3rd and 6 now. Or maybe a 3rd and 5. They might give him a 3rd and 5 officially. All right, ball on the 45-yard line of Dallas. Dak in the gun. Lepke to his left. Takes the snap. Looking left side. Has some time. Now over the middle. Deep shot. Has a man complete. And it's Turpin brought down at the 18-yard line of Pittsburgh. And that is another deep throw and catch. Dak's had a couple of those. Despite not a lot of offensive scoring, he's been able to take advantage of some of the lapses in the Pittsburgh defense. Man, just dropped it in there. You got to give credit. That's a pretty good throw, pretty good catch there. All right, 1st and 10, actually just outside of the 20 officially. So ball on the 21-yard line. Dak's going to take the snap, looking to pass again. Intended for Ceedee Lamb, knocked down at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Brings up a 2nd and 10. Here we go. Sean saying, come on, Dak, throw that pick. And then, of course, Bird Gang Tan saying, why can't Jalen do that? Because whenever you see the pass from Dak. Oh, come on. 2nd and 10, though. Dak takes the snap. He's going to be pressured and sacked. There's a flag on the play. I think that'll be holding on the offense. So TJ Watt with a sack. And we'll see. We'll see what the flag is officially. I think that's going to be on the offense. Yeah, penalty declined. So 3rd down. And TJ Watt just doing what TJ Watt does best. Beating Terrence Steele. Straight to the punch. No time for Dak. All right, 3rd and 17 officially. Ball on the 28-yard line. Dak takes the snap, complete over the middle to Ferguson, tripped up at the 20-yard line, and that'll be bringing up a field goal attempt for Brandon Aubrey. So not how Dallas was hoping for that one to go, but another field goal attempt. Kramer, what's up? Yeah, we're just streaming live during the late stream. Eddie saying long stream, huh? It is. It's a long late stream with the weather delay and everything else. Still going. Did not anticipate to be going at this rate, but here we are. Brandon Aubrey, the kick, and it's blocked. The field goal is blocked, and it's going to be recovered by, I guess it won't matter, because I don't think it actually was recovered by Pittsburgh first. So Steelers ball, where I can't tell where that's at, but yeah, they blocked it. Who was that? 92. Isaiah, who is that? Isaiah Loudermilk with a block. Okay, I thought it was a foregone conclusion, honestly. That's why I was just getting ready to go ahead and chalk that one up as 3 points. But blocked field goal. Defense for Pittsburgh. Oh, Sean, you got to be kidding me. You're playing Pittsburgh's defense? Well, that's just totally unfortunate because you're losing points, and either way, you're kind of ruined. Sorry to hear that. Apologies for that. All right, so Steelers will have the ball at the, let's see, where is that going to be officially? 27, I believe. 1st and 10 at the 27. Yeah, not too great for you, Sean, unfortunately. That's fine. Yes, as long as the Cowgirls lose, everything will be golden. You could have some solace in that. All right, I'm gonna go this drive, I think, and then I'm gonna cut it off because it's crazy late. It's ridiculous. Kramer saying just picked up 60 bottle wine refrigerator from Buddy's restaurant. Let's just say my wife likes wine. Jeez, you got a lot of those. Good for you though. Good for you. Mike Purchase saying, let's go Steelers, beat them Cowgirls. Yep. Don't mind that. Linda, yep. Good to see the Bums struggle and will lose. All right. Let's see. We'll go one more possession with the Steelers here. Sean, appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, I appreciate you guys. It's still always fun. I mean, we try to go as much as we can. It's just this one's getting late, even beyond where I would normally keep staying up for this one. So I am a night owl, but my gosh, we're talking about crazy late. Justin Fields. Be a screen pass set up to Harris. Complete. Has plenty of room up to the 40, 45. Kind of tripped up a little bit, but does get out of bounds there at the 48-yard line. So I believe that's like a 25, 26-yard pickup on the play. Almost up to midfield. Supreme Rich, you said your old man's a Cowboys fan, and I know he's crashing out right now. Yeah, it has to be, especially watching this thing. I mean, man, it's be frustrating having to stay up this late, and if your team ends up losing. Fields dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10. Pressured now, gonna have to get it away. Throws it incomplete. Kind of had a man in the area, and that'll be 2nd and 10. Hunter, I appreciate that as well. Thank you. Tried to hang on as long as we can. Mario, I'm glad that you actually said that because I was hoping I'm not the only one that felt that way. Harris looks like he's running in quicksand. It did and does feel like that. Don't know what it is. I mean, there was a lot of rain, so maybe that plays part of it. But yeah, that's kind of odd. Kramer, any Eagles news? Not really too much. We'll see more about Sidney Brown. As Fields now takes the snap. 2nd and 10. Throws a strike to, who's that? Calvin Austin for about 7 yards. Should bring up a 3rd and 3. So brings up a 3rd down. And then let's see. There's a play incomplete. Passes it to Pickens. So on a 3rd and 4 officially. It's incomplete. Brings up a 4th and 4. And I believe that they're gonna punt. Andrew, I apologize if I'm gonna make you listen to Chris Collinsworth. But yeah, that's probably gonna be where I'm cutting off. Kramer saying, wait, is Thomas also streaming? No partner stream. It's actually on his channel right now too. He had to go to bed, so it still was streaming for a while, but late night, weather delay, and everything else was not able to keep that one up. So I kept it going. His punts almost kept in, but it does roll into the end zone for a touchback. So Dallas should get it at the 30, but there's a penalty. Okay. Holding on Dallas. So that means they're going to get the ball at the 10-yard line when they come back. 10-yard line for Dallas. See what Dak can do. Hopefully I don't jinx this thing. But yeah, I'm probably going to have to cut it off. I do appreciate all you guys hanging out. It's a blast. It's a blast to hang out at all times, but, figured that bye week, didn't have Eagles game, everything else, primetime matchup. We'll probably do this, as I mentioned, we're a long ways from now. But whenever the playoffs start up, we'll have other streams, not just Eagles ones. So just kind of hang out and everything there. But yeah, if you've not already, make sure to check out the channel, hit the like button, subscribe. There's shirts that support the channel as well down in the description. Do that. Also, again, I got to make sure, shout out to the official sponsor of the channel, Underdog, because we had some great parlays today, several others coming as well, which I do share on all the socials. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully you guys tailed and won some money. If it's eligible to you, they're still working within the Pennsylvania and Ohio and Kansas and everything else. But yeah, this one is just, it's dragging on. It's late, Sean. You guys know. But yes, appreciate you guys. Eagles football is back next week, thankfully. More news, videos to come. Sidney Brown seems like he's going to be back there. So we will do that. Should still have the Tuesday night stream. So stay tuned and look forward to that as well. But appreciate you guys. Until next time, you know what it is. Go Birds.